And what I'd love for you guys to do is pop through the questions panel. If you're here on the live webinar page, which is on our website, carrot.com/scale. So carrot.com/scale/live. That's where the live broadcast is. Now, if you're watching this on Facebook, what I want you guys to do is go to carrot.com/live/ carrot.com/scale/live. I'm going to go over there and pop in the link on this YouTube stream or the Facebook stream right now. If you're watching on YouTube, y'all, same thing. Drive over towards our main broadcast page. The reason for that, it's crazy important. The reason for that is because that's where we're going to be having some of the downloads. That's where I'm going to be actually showing you guys some of the items. Going to be going through the Carrot Authority Building worksheet with you live, but you have to go over to that page to get it live. So I'm going to put up a fancy little banner here. It's the first time I've done this right here, but go to watch live at carrot.com/scale/live. And that's where the resources are. Okay. So I'm adding that banner. We'll see if this thing works. I've never really done this before. Look at that. There we go. Cool technology. So carrot.com/live. And guys, I'm pumped about it. If you guys can let me know through the questions panel in the bottom right corner of the live page. We won't really be monitoring the questions too much on the Facebook side of things or the YouTube side of things. So if you have questions, make sure to ask them over on our live page. I'm going to put it in right now. Head on over to our live broadcast page at carrot.com/scale/live for all downloads. Cool. Awesome. We're good to go. We're going to do it, guys. So what I'm going to be diving into today is a topic that, man, it's been an interesting evolution over the past year or so. And the reason for this is because probably the past 2 years, actually, I started doing podcasts on this topic, on the changing, the shifting of the real estate market about 3.5 to 4 years ago. And I was making some predictions. And those predictions are starting to come true. And so I'm going to be walking through a couple things, two big industry shifts that are happening right now, and how you as an agent, or if you're watching this and you're an investor, need to be shifting. I'm going to be walking you through the one marketing method that history has shown in other industries, and I think it's going to be the same for this, is going to help you win during the tech shift and during the top of this market, and then show you how to do it all in a much more streamlined way. How do you really build authority in your market? How do you really start to beat Zillow and Google? How do you start to then own your niches in your market and stop your commissions from being compressed, but actually make them so they stabilize or even grow? So we're going to be diving into that. But before we do, I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Pop through the questions panel over on the live page. So as long as you guys are on that, go to that link there, carrot.com/scale/live. That's where the live page is. That's where the download is. That's where everything is going to be over there. Okay, so if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, go over there. But there's a little orange button in the bottom right. Click that and pop a little note through the questions panel. Let me know that you're here and that you can hear me and see me. So the little tech check here. While I'm waiting for a few people to pop in there and give me some feedback, so say, hey, yep, you can hear me, you can see me. And then let me know where you're tuning in from. Or let me know the city you're tuning in from. And then are you an agent or an investor? That'll help me a bunch kind of tailor some of this content today. But I'm going to be showing you guys real examples. I'm going to be showing you real examples, or I'll be giving you a template of a page that we found out by deconstructing what works really good from Zillow. We've deconstructed that, and we said, well, rather than trying to beat Zillow at a game that social media, why don't we beat them at their own game? That's the way that they grew. Zillow grew not by Facebook. Zillow didn't grow by a bunch of direct mail pieces. Zillow didn't grow by a bunch of Facebook ads or social media posts. They grew by controlling the conversation online. And so many agents have gone, oh my gosh, that's where Zillow is. We can't beat Zillow or Realtor.com. I'm here to tell you that you guys can. And those of you that ignore it, oh my gosh, you're gonna be in a world of hurt in 3 to 5 years if you don't start to make this shift and build authority in your local market and capture more of the highest value prospects out there. So awesome. What's up, Sarah? Sarah from Byron, Illinois. Thank you very much. Looks like audio is working great. We've got someone from North Augusta, South Carolina. Real estate agent. Awesome. Keep on popping through, guys. What's up, Mason? Awesome, guys. So pop in. Who are you? Where are you calling in from? And if you're an agent or an investor. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen here in a second now. And one kind of cool thing before we even dive into this in more detail is we have something coming up that we ran a test on. All good in the tech check. Sweet. Thank you. Looks like we're working good. Peoria, Arizona. I'm going to be down in Peoria here not too long from now. What's up, Laura? Laura from Los Angeles, both an agent and an investor. I love it. Laura, new to Carrot, excited to be here. We got Corey Harder here, agent and investor. Awesome, Corey. What's up, man? Sweet. Looks like we're getting a bunch of people in here. Cool. I love it. Thank you. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing some real examples. Like I said, I'm going to be walking you through a new framework. If you watched, I did a webinar similar to this a couple months ago, and I've even adjusted it and iterated it and made it way better since then, because we've been working with a bunch of high-end clients. And it was fun. About 3 weeks ago, we wrapped up our first, what we called a 30-day authority building challenge. And the authority building challenge was a blast because we essentially took about 90 days worth of execution on how you can build authority in your market. What's up, Sarah? Sarah from Byron, Illinois. We have another one here, agent and investor from Des Moines, Iowa. I love it. Those of you who are agents and investors, you're going to get so much relevant stuff here. It's going to be crazy. Okay, so we took the 30-day challenge. We did it as a pilot program a month and a half ago, and there were about 35 to 40 agents that were in it. And of course, there's always kind of the bell curve, right? You have some people who really go hog wild and implement the heck out of things. You have some people who just don't have the time to get to it. Then you have the bulk in the middle who do some of it and don't do all of it. We're going to be showing you some of the results from those people who implemented this strategy, even just during the 30-day challenge. And it was so successful, and we got so much great feedback from people during that first 30-day challenge that we're doing it again. And it's starting actually next week as of the time I'm recording this call. So it's starting here in less than a week. And there's going to be a link below. We'll link up to you and at the end of the call too. But it's just carrot.com/challenge, carrot.com/challenge. And you can go in there and join the challenge. We already have about 30 agents signed up for it. And we're capping it at 50. So carrot.com/challenge. What is the challenge? You'll learn about it over there. But basically, we have 20 more spots open. Choose the agent or investor route. Okay, we have a separate challenge for each. The investor one right now is just for Carrot members. The agent one can be for anybody, but you're going to have a lot more benefit being a Carrot member. And it's going to take what I'm teaching in this webinar and hyper compressing the execution of it in a 30-day period. Guys, it's only $100. Okay, it's only $100. You have a Facebook, a private Facebook group that's going to go with it, a live Facebook live call with me once a week, and then daily action plans. So we're going to dig in. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to start to dive in and show you the new version of this presentation. If anyone wants to join us for the 30-day challenge, like I said, we've got 20 spots open. It's only $100. You're going to get massive value from it. And our hope is that we can start to turn more and more of y'all into those local authorities, because that's what I really feel strongly. I'm convicted that those who continue to do the marketing that you're currently doing are probably going to have a bit of a tough time as the market starts to shift. So Carrot Authority Building Training, how to replace Zillow, attract the best and most qualified leads, and control the conversation in your market. And we're at a really interesting phase. And I have some questions coming in, which is awesome. I'll answer some of those questions here in a bit. Okay. Actually, Melissa right here says, those of us that did the 30-day challenge already, are we going to be kicked out of our Facebook group? Melissa, we're going to keep that Facebook group active for sure through the end of this month. But the reason for that is for people who want to continue on that journey and continue to execute more. We're going to continue to have a new 30-day challenge to reinvigorate and re-inspire you and give you a new cohort of people to go through. Okay, so if anyone is interested in doing the challenge again, you didn't get the chance to do it last time as much, or you just want to do it again to get the rope of it, or have someone on your team do it, that one's coming up again. Once again, it's only $100. And we'll dig in with you. But no, we're going to keep the last challenge Facebook group open for a little bit for sure, Melissa. We got you. All right, cool. So we're at an interesting time in the real estate industry. All right, and this is why. And I've talked about some of it, but there's some new things that have popped up just in the past couple of weeks that are critical too. And you guys have all seen this. You've seen the investment into real estate tech growing. They call it prop tech. And prop tech a decade ago really wasn't much of anything. So during the last downturn, what happened was there was of course a massive change that happened for real estate agents in that 2007 through 12 range, where it became harder for agents to sell properties. A lot of agents left the industry. Okay, and then many of them became investors, because at that point, at a down market, that's when you want to be buying properties. Okay, then as the market started to get better, 2012 on, what happened was a lot more people saw the market improving, so they became agents again, or they started to be investor and an agent, or they entered the market as an agent. Especially the last 2 years, the market got good. But the cool and interesting and scary thing for many agents is during that time, from 2008 through 2018, technology changed rapidly, right? We had technology making leaps and bounds of changes, and what was happening was the inefficiencies in the real estate market that were creeping up over the previous decades are now ones that the tech industry is looking at, going, man, I think we can solve these things by putting tech in the middle and removing agents or investors out of it. And so you're seeing billions of dollars flow into prop tech right now to try to solve the problem of how do we make the real estate transaction more efficient? How do we make it so it really truly solves that problem for the seller or for the buyer? And it doesn't just have this arbitrary party in the middle, whether it's a house flipper, wholesaler, or real estate agent that's making money just because they have kind of locked themselves in the middle of it. And that's what we're going to be talking about is so many agents are making money just because they have the license. And those agents that are just making money because they have the license and aren't doing what I'm going to talk about here in a bit are going to be the ones who are going to struggle in this market ahead. You have companies like Open Door cropping up, OfferPad, Zillow. Guys, this isn't new to us. So if you're on the agent side, this is new the past year and a half. But on the investor side, which is where we come from, over the past 5 years and the previous 5 years before that, way before Carrot even started, we saw this coming for years. Okay, iBuyers are not a new thing. Okay, iBuyers are just house flippers and wholesalers by another name. The house flippers and wholesalers have been around for decades, right? But this is the prop tech. This is heavy investment, institutionalized investment coming in to try to be house flippers and buyers here. And this is a brand new one that just came out, as there's starting to be some laws that are getting put up in place around the country where it's making traditional wholesaling illegal. Now, this is something that's kind of been a point of contention between agents and investors for years. But at the end of the day, y'all, there's two parts of the industry, and I'm going to be talking about the two parts of the industry and why I feel they're going to be coming together, and what you have to do in this phase of the market while they're coming together, while they're compressing together, where the opportunities are, where the black zones are, where you can get lost. And if you don't shift, what's going to happen to you? And I'm going to compare it to a historical event that happened 30 years ago in a different industry. And I think it's going to be eerily similar if you don't make the same shift. But I drew this on the whiteboard. This was last week. And even between the last time I did a similar webinar like this, my message has got even clearer because we've been working with more clients and getting better results. And so I'm going to be walking you through these three key things today. Okay, the shifting industry. There's the tech disruption and the competition. There's how do you actually beat how do you actually shift your marketing in this market? And then what are you currently doing wrong that's going to be something that can make you a commodity in your marketing versus what do you need to shift in your marketing, make sure that you stand out and become an authority. So my promise today, y'all, is I want to give you a detail, catching up in detail on the two critical industry shifts happening right now and how they'll impact agents and investors. Promise number two, the key strategy shift that'll help you beat Zillow and the tech giants. You can do it. You can do it. That's the thing that's so exciting is, guys, you can do it. There's so many people who are afraid of it, or they think that you can't beat Zillow or any of those, Zillow, Realtor.com. And I'm going to show you over and over and over again, showing you guys that you can beat them. And once again, if you're on the Facebook side of things, or if you're on the YouTube side of things, go over to our live view page at carrot.com/scale, okay, /live, okay? And then if you're interested in joining our challenge that's starting here shortly in less than a week, we only have 20 spots left in it. It's carrot.com/challenge. It's a 30-day challenge where I'm going to be compressing everything I'm teaching you into this, but the execution of it into 30 days, okay? So number two is the key strategy shift that'll help you beat Zillow and set you up to really thrive during this shift in the market. And honestly, there's going to be a lot of agents who are going to fizzle out during this phase if they don't make this shift. And then number three is how to turn your marketing from a hamster wheel to evergreen to build momentum. And that's what we're really talking about in this phase of the market, okay? Because the tech giants are going to come in and gobble up a part of the market. Investors are going to have to shift, and they're going to be gobbling up part of the market and still serving an insanely valid and relevant space in the market. But then agents, you really need to be doing marketing that builds momentum and not marketing like all hamster wheel marketing, which most of you guys are doing right now. And it's kind of wearing you down. It's wearing you down. And we're going to talk about how to build a business that gives you freedom, that gives you flexibility, okay, that can really grow those finances and help you make an impact. Because many of you are just kind of running around like chickens with your heads cut off. And it's because of the way that you're marketing. Okay. So let me show you this, guys. Okay. This is the type of result. And I showed this in the last webinar. We have a lot of other results since then. Just haven't had a chance to update the slide, but this is the type of result we're looking for. Is if you can really niche down on things that you are great at or that you can be an expert on, and then beat Zillow. I'm going to show you guys exactly the beat Zillow page framework on this in this training. You can beat Zillow, get in front of them, and steal the leads away from them. Now, so many agents. I was talking with Anthony Beckham, one of our agents here in Roseburg. We did a podcast with him recently, and he did I think he did $200,000 his first year as an agent in a young 20-something-year-old guy, $300,000 last year, and now he's starting to invest as well. He's going out there buying houses as well. He's making offers to sellers, and he's making listing presentations. And I can tell you guys, those people who are out there building authority on both sides are going to be winning in this market. But the reason I brought Anthony up is because he has certain niches that he's been doing really well. But imagine if he could be in front of all of his best prospects when they search Google for exactly what he's an expert in. Imagine if you're an expert in this certain neighborhood or North Home Court River Homes or this part of town or this type of a buyer or this type of a seller. And when they go to Google, they find you first, second, third, and they find your website and they build connection and authority with you. Imagine what's going to happen and how that puts you in the driver's seat. You can start to then stop buying leads from Zillow like Anthony's doing. He bought a ton of leads from Zillow the first 2 years. And he's like, man, I want to replace Zillow. I don't want to be paying Zillow for leads anymore. So I'm enabling them to crush us. I want to go replace them and capture the leads that they're selling me. And so this is an example of that. This company here, they overtook Zillow following the framework I'm going to show you, and you can do it over and over and over again as a part of our Carrot Authority building framework here, and we teach it in the challenge coming up. We actually help you and work with you to develop these location pages and get them optimized so they have a better chance of ranking. But these are real leads, y'all, that have came in, and there's even more leads that are coming in on this exact page even in the last 24 hours. Okay, if I were to pull up this site right here, this is where they came in on. They came in right here, saw some properties here, and they ended up opting in to that landing page there, or they opted into this landing page here, which is specific to the River Homes list. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to set that stuff up. But they're now able to capture leads that Zillow was getting before. And here's some other really cool results when you make a shift like this. This is from Krista Mayshore, a client and a partner of ours. She's an amazing coach. She's all in on the content side and all in on Carrot, and does amazing on Facebook. Mary Ellen, one of her students and a Carrot customer, said, I just thought I'd share this for a win this week. I just double-ended one of my closings. She says she has seen all of the marketing I've been doing on the property and decided to move forward. The biggest part of the win is she saw my niche videos about waterfront property, and she asked me to list her $850,000 waterfront property. Stick with the program. Guys, niche videos. We're going to talk about exactly what those are because so many people are doing them wrong. I'm going to show you how to really build authority and do it in under 20 minutes a week. Okay, Jacqueline, 4 listings last week, 3 coming up so far. People are starting to notice. They're starting to notice that marketing is what she's talking about. Like Catherine Pierpont, this actually came from the last challenge that we did. And she was a little bit late on getting some of the stuff executed because she got in the challenge a little bit later. She got busy at the start, and then she just really hit it fast and furious the last 15 days. And she said, got my first stellar, well-qualified, ready to buy a buyer lead from my Carrot website. Super excited. In the comments, we dove in there. And within the next couple of days, they ended up seeing 3 properties, made an offer for $350,000 on a property. And if you look at the commission there, let's just average it at 3%, that's going to be about an $8,000 to $9,000 commission. All because she implemented half. She implemented half of what we teach in the Carrot Authority Building Challenge. Okay, so if you guys want to join that, it's carrot.com/challenge. Choose the agent when we have 20 spots open. It's only $100. Tyler Ford, he's an agent and an investor. Now, I keep on saying agent and investor a lot, y'all. So if you're an agent and you have never thought about investing, I really, truly think that you should seriously look at what you want to do long-term. What are your goals long-term? What are your goals long-term for your business? Is it to continually have to churn transactions? If that's the case, if you want freedom, if you want flexibility, if you want to make an impact, as great as you want to make that impact, then you're going to have to either build a decent sized team, okay? Or you're going to have to get so much commissions, build up a big stockpile so you can retire. or do like what Tyler's doing, like with Anthony Beckham's doing, so many of our clients watching this call are doing, where they're looking at it and going, cool, let me pick up and buy some of these properties and turn them into rentals for long term. Okay. Or let me find other business opportunities that continue to scale out my passive income while I'm churning these commissions helping our clients. And Tyler, after 20 years, was going to give up real estate until he made these 3 changes, the ones we're talking about today. Okay. And he crushed his profit goals that very first year. And he's, far exceeding them than this year. And he's having more fun than ever too. He's an EXP agent. He's an investor. His revenue, his profits are about 2/3 on the investing side, 1/3 on the agent side. And he's loving life because he's made this shift. Okay. And the key is building consistent, predictable, momentum building lead flow. And that's what we want. That's what we all want in our businesses, y'all, is we want consistency. We want predictability. We want momentum with our leads. When we have those things, that's when we can get freedom. That's when we have the flexibility to go do what we want to do. We can take a month-long vacation. We can take 2 weeks, whatever you want to do. You can take the vacation because you have predictability. Now, how many people on this call, on this webinar, let me know in the chat box, how many people on this webinar sometimes feel like your business traps you, especially in the summer months where you don't feel like you can take a bunch of time off, or you don't feel like you can take a bunch of vacation? Pop through the questions panel if that's something that you relate to. When I was doing that podcast with Anthony and we talked about it, I think on the podcast that's coming out here shortly, he brought that up, and we definitely talked about it a lot after we stopped recording that. We talked about it, and he's like, man, I've been working 7 days a week for 2 years. I finally cut it down where I can work 6 days a week. And he's starting to add some people to his team, but I'm going, man, part of it is your lead flow needs to be more consistent, predictable, build momentum, which is why he's going all in on this strategy I'm teaching you today. And he stopped buying Zillow leads. And then next is he needs to build better follow-up processes and add a team member or two where it's needed. We'll talk about some of that. Okay. But who am I? I'm the guy there in the middle. I get to show up to work every single day with this amazing team. We have 25, 26 employees all around the country, and we really help people generate a lot of leads online, real estate investors and real estate agents. And by far more online leads come through Carrot than any other platform in the world for real estate investors. And then on the agent side, that's something that we've been diving into heavily in the past year, and working with about 400 or so real estate agents right now. And we're pumped to be able to grow that influence as we go. But because of the results that we've been able to get with our clients, we don't do a lot of marketing ourselves, y'all, other than exactly what we teach. We implement our marketing the exact same way that we teach you guys. We build authority. It creates momentum. It creates consistency. And we're going to be showing you guys the exact same playbook we've used to build one of the fastest growing companies in America and the 5th fastest growing company in Oregon. Okay. But it's the same thing you can do as an agent. And I've got three beautiful young kids. There's my beautiful wife, Carly. I live in a small town called Roseburg, Oregon, which I love. We've got several clients here. We love the outdoors in a big way. And we really help people, like I said, generate a lot of inbound leads. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, is how do you as an agent attract your best possible prospects to you versus you having to hustle your butt off for all of your leads. Okay, we want to talk about how do you get your best possible prospects attracted to you. And yes, I do have a carrot allergy. Irony, I know. Okay, so Laura, what's up? Laura says, I haven't taken any time off in 2 years. Laura, that's what we're talking about. I mean, guys, so if you were to look at our stated mission here at our company, our stated mission in our company. And this is one of the first things I challenge you guys on in that Carrot Authority Building Challenge. One of the first things, I think it's day 2 or day 3, is yes, guys, all day long, I could totally teach you guys how to generate more leads. Okay. That's the easy thing. The hard thing to do is how to actually intentionally build the business in the way that it serves you, that it serves your goals, that it serves your lifestyle, that it serves your vision that you've wanted for it, right? And what happens with so many of us, whether we're agents or investors or software company owners or plumbers, or it doesn't matter what it is, we end up building a business that traps us. We build a business that controls us. And I'm going to be talking about a 2-legged stool here in a bit, and how you turn it into a 3-legged stool where the business can support you rather than you supporting it. But I'll tell you, a hunk of that is the way that you're doing your marketing. The reason you can't take your time off is because of marketing, systems, and people. Marketing, systems, people. And we're going to focus on the marketing on this call, okay? And then within the first week of the challenge, we dive deep on challenging you on what are you doing this for? What's your mission? What's your vision for why you want to do this? And have you write it down. We challenge you in the Facebook group on that vision, on that mission. So you're in your core, you know exactly why you're doing what you're doing. And then once you've had that, then we kick it into high gear and leverage that mission, leverage that vision to then help you grow your business. Because a good story, a good vision, a good mission is something that people latch onto. And that's one of the reasons that we've grown so fast here with Carrot. And you can see these pictures here from one of our recent company retreats. That literally, this picture here was me going through the vision of the company to our team again. We always have to talk vision, y'all, because if you don't know where you're going, it's really hard to make sure you're intentional with your moves to get you there. Okay. And so we're going to help you do that in the challenge. But this is my favorite part of it, is how do we build meaningful, impactful businesses? How do we build businesses that, like Danny on our team, who works with so many of you on the concierge side of our program, if you want all the work done for you at the really high level, Danny leads that whole team, the services division. But Danny said, hey, working at Carrot's changed my life for the better. Genuinely love the work we get to do every day and the people that I learned to grow with. Now, I'm not advertising positions here at Carrot. I'm saying this because I want you guys building businesses as agents that's purposeful. If I teach you how to do all kinds of marketing in this call and teach you industry transformation, teach you how to build authority, but I don't teach you how to build a business that gives you impact, that gives you momentum, that makes you truly fulfilled, that impacts people, then I think I've completely not done my job. Okay, and we're going to focus on that in the first week of the challenge for anyone who's wanting to dive in. So let's dive deeper into this industry transformation. Okay, I talked about the two sides of the market and how it's really become inefficient. And I think you would probably have a lot of arguments from some real estate agents on here, and I might kind of ruffle some feathers. But what's going to happen is those of you who kind of bury your head in the sand or aren't willing to look at the other side and to look at the fact that this industry is in the act of getting disrupted, then you are the one who is going to get disrupted. Okay, so you're either the disruptor or the disrupted. And what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to turn into local disruptors. Okay, I want you guys to turn into local disruptors and do the things that other agents aren't doing and that the big giants can't do. And we're going to show you guys exactly what that is and how to do it. But on one side, you have the retail side, which is the traditional list through the MLS. That I'd also consider for sale by owner in there, real estate agents, traditional brokerages. But for decades, there's been this wholesale side, which is the house flippers, wholesalers. That's kind of your more distressed and motivated properties or sellers. And there's kind of been this tension between a lot of agents and investors where a lot of agents say, well, wholesalers and flippers are just kind of being an agent illegally. And a lot of investors are saying, well, you guys just don't understand what we're doing. And I think both are wrong and both are right. Okay. But what we're having happen right now is both sides provide value, but you're going to need to start to come in towards the middle now, because what sellers want, if you were to take a survey of 100 sellers, I'm confident in this. If you were to take a survey of 100 sellers, I believe 99 out of 100, if they were given a choice, would you like to list the property on the MLS and have it take between 30 days and 6 months to get your money? Or would you rather sell it immediately and get your money next week for a fair price that you agree upon? A 99 out of 100 would choose the second option. They would all choose, except for that one that Aunt Betsy, I really like Aunt Betsy. Now, I don't want to make her mad by not working with her, so I'm going to work with Aunt Betsy, right? But the 99 out of 100 would say, of course, I would much rather have my money next week and not have to do open houses, not have to sign a listing agreement, and not have to wait a month or 2 months and have 3 buyers back out and not have to do all that. Okay, the main difference here, y'all, is the word fair, the word fair price. That is the main thing at play right now in this stage of the market. Okay, the reason that real estate agents have a lock on selling homes is because you guys have the best way right now to get them the price that they want if they're willing to wait, right? And I think it's valid. That's why I don't think real estate agents and that profession is going to go away anytime soon. It's gonna be around for decades longer, y'all. So I don't want to fearmonger. I'm not doing that at all. I want to point out the massive opportunity you have ahead of you as an agent if you shift the way that you're looking at it and shift the way you do your marketing. Okay. On the wholesale side of it, okay, wholesalers work with people who are looking for speed and convenience, and they're willing to take a discounted offer. It's funny when I'm in a Facebook group and I see a bunch of agents talking about, the iHome or the iHome buyer stuff or the iBuyer stuff and investors, and they're like, oh man, what they're not telling people is that they're charging a larger fee than we're charging. Like, we should bring a lawsuit against Open Door because they're charging more than agents. And guys, here's the deal. Okay. Agents have a fee that's being charged, which is anywhere between 5 and let's say 8%, depending on some markets, but usually about 6% the front and the back side. Okay, you have a fee that's being charged, but it takes the client between 45 days and 6 months to actually get their money. Okay, so with iBuyers or investors, they charge a premium fee for speed and convenience. So think about it this way: when you go down to the car lot and you buy a new car, they make you an offer on your car. They say, hey, you can trade this in. And you know that when you trade a car and you're doing it for a discount, you know that you could probably go to Craigslist and you could list the property in the car in Craigslist, and you could go through and you could have 5-6 people come to your house and have them do test drives, and you could do this and that. You can handle the paperwork, and you can do all that if you want to, right? And you can make more money than trading it into the car lot. But you know that the speed and convenience trade factor there is, I'd much rather just be done with it, take some less bucks and have you deal with it, and I'll take my cash now. It's the exact same thing in the wholesale and flipping side of things. Okay, so why is this important? Because right now you're starting to see some things disrupting in the market. You're seeing the cloud brokerages come in, like Big Block Realty, my friend Sam Karamian over there, EXP Realty, Compass Realty, all those cloud brokerages are coming in because oftentimes they're able to offer agents a higher commission split, which is really important right now when your commission is starting to get compressed. If your commission is getting compressed, you're always looking for ways to try to get more money for yourself and less for the brokerage. So the big brokerages are going to have to really fight hard to become more and more relevant in this age. Okay, Zillow, Open Door, OfferPad, HomeLight, all those ones in the middle, they're saying, hey, we're going to try to bridge the line right in the middle of this industry. We're gonna do marketing and look more like the mainstream. Okay, most house flippers and wholesalers are kind of the mom and pop shop. There are some bigger ones out there, of course, but they're like, we want to look mainstream over here, and we want to make cash offers. And yes, it may or may not be more or less than what an agent could provide on the sale, but it's going to be immediate. Okay, and that's where they're trying to fill the gap. Now, I see some massive flaws in their business model, but what they're trying to do right now, y'all, is they're just trying to buy the market. Okay, a lot of people are going in there, even investor friends of mine, they're going, man, I sold one of my properties to Open Door 2 months ago for 30 grand more than what it's worth. They listed it on the market, 6 months ago. They listed it on the market for a while, and they ended up dropping it back down to the original price that it actually should have been bought at. And so they're losing massive amounts of money on many of their properties, and they have massive amounts of money behind them. Now, there's a couple things. It's a coin flip. Will they go belly up in the next 5 to 10 years because they've miscalculated the market? They've miscalculated what's going to happen? Or are they just buying market share to completely shift people's attention over towards iBuyers? I don't know, maybe a little bit of both. But things are changing, and during this phase, your commissions are getting compressed. And as an investor, if you don't shift some things, your profits can get compressed too. And in this phase, if you start to look at it, y'all, if you start to look at it and go, cool, so during this market phase, how do we win? How do I stand out, and how do I win against the tech giants? How do I stand out, and how do I win against the other agents in my market? Because at the top end of a real estate market, what happens is there's more competition, and we're near or at the top end in most markets where everybody and their dog wants to be an agent now, and everybody and their dog wants to be an investor, which is amazing. I'm so glad. I love the entrepreneurial spirit, but it does create more clutter in the market where you've got to break through. Okay, so in this next phase, those who build authority will win. And I'm going to say that again. In this phase, y'all, those who build authority will win. The people who build authority are going to be winning. Okay. Now we're going to be talking about how to build authority in this market, how not to. But those of you that are still moving forward with a broker provided website, if you have a website from your broker, you're likely going to be having a tough time building authority and winning in the next 5 years. Okay. And there's something that I'm very clear on my opinion here. And I know there's a lot of room for arguing with me on this. Okay. And there's a lot of companies that have set up just to do this. If you look at Keller Williams, I'll show here in a bit, they've fully invested in exactly what I feel is not the solution. Okay. But by an agent really going out there and having a broker provided website, or one of the competitors of ours that just really focus on getting a fancy, pretty IDX tool up there, but don't help you build authority with content, I think you're going to have a tough time standing out. Okay. You will stand out by showing your expertise. You'll stand out by showing what's unique about you, not about the property. Okay. Being in front of your prospects with content that your competitors can't duplicate. Okay. The only way to build authority, y'all, the only way to build authority is by creating content. The only way to build authority. So let me step it back for you. The market's shifting. The people who are going to win that market are the people who build local niche authority. The only way to build authority is with content. And I'm going to show you exactly how to build the right type of content moving forward, how to make it easy for you. Okay. And many of you are already doing content, but you're primarily doing it on Facebook. I'm going to show you how to add something to that to make it all work better and get you off of the Facebook hamster wheel where you've always got to post stuff all the time. Okay. And this right here is where I'm convicted that a lot of people have it wrong in the industry. Now, we'll see in the next 5 to 10 years who's got it right. But I think agents who focus on the property versus why they should work with you specifically will be commoditized over the next 5 years. Okay, so if you're just posting about property, if your website has just a bunch of listings of properties, but not a bunch of content on the niches that you're an expert in, every other agent has the same thing. Then that by definition is if you have what everyone else has, you are a commodity. So you've got to keep on lowering your prices until eventually you just don't want to do the business anymore. So now this is very, very parallel to something that happened a little over 30 years ago. Okay. And I love history. I love history, y'all. And I'm a student of history in a big way. Thank you. Awesome. What's up, Tracy? Tracy from Georgia. I'm a student of history in a big way because basically history oftentimes repeats itself, as they say. And you can look in other industries and you can go, cool, is there another industry that's similar to what happened here? And can I look at what happened in that industry and will it give me indicators on what's going to happen here? And the stock market is actually a really, really great case study that we can start to follow here. And I'm going to break it apart on how certain stockbrokers went out of business after some changes happened and how people thrived. Okay, then how a bunch got caught in the middle. And so at the end of the 80s, there was a massive stock market crash. And it was actually the single largest single day drop, even larger than the one that caused the Great Depression back in the 1920s. Okay, it's the largest single day drop, even larger than that one. And what happened was in the 80s, we really didn't have the internet at that time. We were kind of right on the cusp of internet was kind of invented right around there. But no one really had it in their homes. And it wasn't something you really had as a tool for you. Okay, but there were these massive inefficiencies in the market that got amplified when that stock market crash happened. And so the stock market crashed and tons of people started picking up phones and calling their brokers and trying to make trades because they were panicked. And so many brokers panicked and they stopped answering phone calls, or you just couldn't even get through to the broker because there were so many people calling that broker to make trades in this panic. And so many people lost their incomes. They lost their livelihoods because of this crash. And because of that, regulations and deregulation happened. Now, I want you to start to jot down and take mental notes here, guys, of these timelines during this, because you're going to see some eerily similar things to the real estate market right now. Okay, so some deregulation started happening and some regulation started happening, but also at that time, technology had just caught up with the inefficiency in the market. Before that time, you had to physically pick up the phone, call a stockbroker because they had a special license that sat between the buyer and the seller of the stock. I had to call a stockbroker. I had to place it with them. They placed a thing, then they made it happen. Okay, it's a massive inefficiency if I just wanted to make it happen quicker. And so these deregulations happened, and technology caught up to a point to where they could then make a portal online that you can buy and sell stocks. And that's when you saw your E-Trades pop up, your Charles Schwab's, all of the online trading portals popped up. And there were tons and tons of news stories that came up online that came up in the news that basically said the stockbroker industry is dead. The profession of a stockbroker is dead. Those came up everywhere. And we still see those almost on a daily basis in Facebook. And I think they're completely misguided. You should be insanely proud about the profession that you're in. You should be insanely positive and optimistic about the profession you're in. You just have to change. You have to shift. Now, the ones who did go out of business, they died a slow death in the stock side of things because they felt, well, shoot, I've got the license. I'm just going to keep on getting business. I'll go to my friends and family and just network more and do this and that. They went out of business because a lot of people saw the opportunity to go save money and get a quicker transaction and save money by going to one of the online portals. Okay. So a lot of people went out of business there. The ones who thrived, though, y'all, are the ones who shifted. The ones who thrived made a key shift, and they said, okay, it's not that people don't want to work with people. It's not that people want everything automated. It's not that people want cheaper. People just want better. Okay. People just want better. It's not that they want cheaper. It's they want better. Okay. So how do I now be better as a stockbroker? Well, I can be a niche expert. I can really focus on becoming an expert and niching down. And that's when you saw your certified financial planners, registered investment advisors, all of these certifications popped up over the next several decades. They started creating a ton of content on how do you build wealth and how do you do all these things. They became niche experts in their local markets. Those won, and the market actually expanded and got bigger. It didn't get smaller, but a ton of people got left in the wake. Okay, a ton of people got left in the wake. And the similarities there are this: is if you're going to continue moving forward as a real estate agent, making money just because you have a license, you're going to get caught in the shift, and you're not going to be making it another 5 to 10 years. Okay. But if you make the shift and you say, okay, people don't want cheaper, they want better. People don't want cheaper, they want better. Some people will choose cheaper for sure. The ones who are willing to do research, the ones who are fine with an online transaction, maybe who have done a bunch of transactions like that before. But most people just want better. They want a better experience. So how do you niche down? How do you focus on building a better experience and become the authority in your market, in a cluttered marketplace where you can win? Okay. So here's kind of what I think is going to happen over the next 20 years. Then we'll dive into a very specific action plan. And for those of you who hopped on a little bit later, we have a challenge starting here in less than a week or so. And it's called the 30-day authority building challenge. We'll talk about it at the end of this call. We have 20 spots left. It's only $100. And we take you by the hand for 30 days. There's a private Facebook group. There's a weekly live call with me in there. There's bite-sized action items every single day for 30 days. That's going to help you build out a high converting, credibility building site. That's going to help you really dive in and build out your niche authority strategy, your content strategy. It's going to then help you build out your location pages to outrank Zillow for your niches and start to dive into the inbound side of things, which we'll talk about here in a second. And then it's going to give you a plan to amplify it with paid marketing. So go to carrot.com/challenge and grab one of those final 20 spots if you want it. And we're just going to keep on diving into this training. So here's where the current house stats lie. About 88 to 90%, depending on the study you look at, of all homes sold are sold through real estate agents. The other 12% is a mixture of for sale by owner, iBuyers, wholesalers, house flippers, people like that. Okay. So here's kind of my 15-year projection is I really feel that the share that agents will have will drop from about 80 to about 90% to somewhere in the 70s. Now, this is educated guess. Of course, I don't have a crystal ball, but the reason I think this is because if you look at how the stats worked also for stocks, a major portion of stocks is still traded through mutual funds, investment advisors, things like that. But a massive portion also shifted over towards your Betterments, towards your E-Trade, Charles Schwab, all those types of systems. Okay. And now you have a lot of AI systems that are coming out, still trying to threaten brokers. Which leaves 30% for iBuyers, direct home sellers, house flippers, wholesalers, things like that, which is still a massive amount of the market. If you're to look at the percentage of the market that iBuyers currently are buying, it's probably less than 2 to 3% according to the last study that we did. Okay, of all the houses sold. So it's still such a small part of the market. But during this market, the market's also going to expand. Over the next 15 years, there's going to be more people in homes. Over the next 15 years, there's going to be more homes out there. So the market's going to expand, but you've got to be able to crack through. And like I said, the only way to win in this market expansion is by building authority. It's not with fancy automations or IDX. And here's a great example. Are there any Keller Williams agents in on here? Let me know through the questions panel if there's any Keller Williams agents in on here. And Corey, what's up, man? Corey says, do you recommend having a brokerage site linked to my Carrot agent site? Dude, let's connect on that at the end. That's a great question, man. Because I want to define what you say by brokerage, my brokerage site. Okay, I want to talk about that. But let me know, guys and gals, in the comments section if you are a Keller Williams agent. Now, I love KW. Okay, Jay Papazan, we're working on getting him on the podcast soon. I think Gary Keller's an amazing visionary. They're making some gutsy moves right now. Okay, but one thing that we've been hearing from some agents is like, man, how are you going to compete against KW Command? Because there's a lot of hype out here about the KW Command, and I think it's a great tool. But here's the one major flaw in tools like this is if you and 400 other agents in the Dallas market all have KW Command, you don't have an advantage over those 400 other agents in your brokerage now. You don't have an advantage. Now, you might have a slight advantage over some of the other non-Keller Williams agents, but what about the other 400 that also have access to this tool? The one major flaw that diving in and focusing on a fancier IDX tool or diving in and focusing on fancier automation or a tool like KW Command is you need to focus on building authority and differentiating yourself. And the main and only way you can do that is with content. So you can only automate and scale up what you're putting into it. So if you have KW Command, cool, you can automate and scale up the same crap everyone else is automating and scaling up, or you can automate and scale up what's unique about you. You can automate and scale up your expertise, your videos, things like that. That's how you're going to win the market. And that's where Carrot fits in. That's where we're the best, is you can really scale up building authority through content that people see through search engines, through social media, and through paid marketing. Okay. And that's what we're going to be. We're going to be walking you through something. So I want to show you this. This is the way that your client's going to be thinking. Okay. And I'll show you a couple examples here. So let's say that you are looking at buying farmland. Okay. And I'm just going to use Roseburg as an example because that's where I'm standing right now. And this is how most of your clients are searching. Okay. So your clients in general are not going to Facebook to find answers to their problems. In general, people don't go to Facebook to look at houses. In general, people don't go to Facebook to find a real estate agent. Now, I'm not going to say that never happens. I'm just saying in general, Facebook is not the format for that. But Facebook is amazing to get in front of the attention because a lot of people are always on Facebook. So you can serve up ads in there. You can put out content and videos. It's an amazing place to gain attention, but it's not where people are actively going to find solutions to their problems. Where they're going is exactly what I'm showing you right now, which is Google. Okay, Google is the way that Zillow built their business. If you guys want to compete against Zillow, you got to be doing the things that Zillow did, but better. Okay, and Zillow did it through Google. It didn't do it through Facebook. It didn't do it through Instagram. It didn't do it through direct mail. Zillow won the market by controlling the online conversation where buyers and sellers search. Okay, and so let's kind of do a search and see how your buyers and sellers are searching. And are they finding you? Are they finding others? Or are they just going to Zillow, where Zillow is going to send that lead to the highest bidder? Okay. So let's say I'm looking for farmland in Roseburg. I might go to Google and type something like this. Okay, farmland for sale, Oregon. So let's say I don't know where I want to buy farmland in yet. Okay, I'm going to type up Oregon, probably the most broad phrase possible. So to start to do my research, and you can see Google's kind of giving me some suggestions on other phrases that people are typing in. Now, this is key, y'all. This is key. Okay, this is key because Google is telling us exactly what people are actively typing in every single month. So if you are an agent who specializes in ranches on the Oregon coast, I would create a page. I'm going to show you guys how to do that here in a bit, called Ranches for Sale on the Oregon Coast. And that would get that ranked well in Google, following our Beat Zillow framework, which we're going to be teaching in the challenge in a more detailed format. It's carrot.com/challenge to grab one of those remaining 20 spots. Okay, but I'm going to show you guys how to use Google to take over those conversations. So then let's say someone really realizes, I really like Roseburg. Roseburg's a great spot. So then they're going to get more local. Okay, farmland for sale, Roseburg. Okay, cool. Farmland for sale, Roseburg, Oregon. Let's type that up and let's see what pops up here. Okay, awesome. So what we're going to see here is we're going to see some national sites. Okay, we're going to see all this kind of stuff. We're going to be seeing some cool stuff in here. Then they might dig in and do more of a search and do something like this. Okay, farmland. Farmland Roseburg, or some sort of a phrase like that. Okay. And this is where it's magical. Okay. This client followed one of about 25 recommendations that we give in the Authority Building Challenge. Okay. They followed one and they only did it one time. Now, can you imagine if they would have done it more than once? And this post was done over 2 years ago, 2017. Can you imagine if they did one of these a week or two of these a month? Where they would be right now and completely controlling the conversation online, according to Google, as far as Roseburg land goes. LoopNet.com, the outranked LoopNet, the outranked LandWatch, Land and Farm, TripAdvisor, Lands of America, the local news station, all of this. And if you click it, guys, look at what it is. It's not just a generic blog post that they hired a VA to write. It's Denny. It's one of the local agents who went out there and shot a 3-minute and 23-second video on a cell phone. Okay. Guys, on a cell phone, not fancy equipment here. They shot it on a cell phone. He talked about farmland in Roseburg, Oregon. He just talked about his expertise, and he sent it through our system called Video Post. And we've been doing it for years, where we would take short videos, 3 to 5 minute videos that teach information about a niche, and then always give a call to action. Hey, if you're interested in buying farmland here in Roseburg, let's go ahead and give us a call at or go to gstyles.com/farmland and get on our farmland list, where we update it every single day with the new farmland properties that hit the market. Okay, always give a CTA. But what he did was he uploaded it to our system called Video Post. Our Video Post system took his video, yanked it over, imported it from YouTube automatically, sent it out, got it transcribed, sent it right back in. This is all automated, and made a full written blog post for him. Now, all he had to do was make sure it was titled well, and all he had to do was make sure he said the words in the video that someone might type into Google. Make sure you're saying, or if you're looking to buy farmland in Roseburg, I'm going to be walking you through 5 tips. Make sure you're saying the phrases, say the local area, say the types of things that someone's actually going to be typing into Google that you want to rank for. And if he would have done one of these a week or one of these every other week, and around farmland and around his other niches, he would completely own that conversation. He'd be winning all of that market. If he would take it one step further and do a Facebook retargeting campaign that drives them to his farmland niche videos, then they're going to go, man, I'm just going to work with Denny. This guy seems like he knows what he's talking about. Zillow's not going to do that. Open Door's not going to do that. Your mega agents are likely not going to do that either. And this right here is one of the several ways you can start to build authority. Let's give another example. Okay, let's go to the North Umpqua River home example, or I'll type some other ones here locally. So let's say I'm looking to buy a home in Roseburg. The first thing I'm going to do is probably do this: Roseburg homes for sale. Cool, because that's where most people start as at the broad search for the whole city, and it's going to be really, really hard to compete against Zillow and Realtor.com for the overall search for your whole city. Okay, that's going to be hard. You can totally get on page 1. You can totally get on page 1 for the overall search for your whole city. But it's going to be really hard to compete against Zillow and Realtor.com for the top couple spots. Okay. But what do you see here again? You see some more suggestions from Google, giving me suggestions on what people are typing into Google. So let's say I found a neighborhood in Roseburg called Melrose that I really like. Okay. So Melrose. Okay. Melrose, Roseburg, homes. Look at this, Melrose Roseburg homes for sale. Cool. I want to look for houses in the Melrose neighborhood specifically. So what do you see here, guys? You see a paid ad. They're paying quite a bit for these paid ads. You see Zillow, Realtor, and then a local site. This is that same G-Team site that I showed you before. This page, y'all, they launched only 3 months ago. Okay, they launched it 3 months ago following our Beat Zillow framework. It looks amazing on mobile. It has really good content. It doesn't just talk about the property or the area. That's one of the biggest mistakes agents make, is they talk about the property of the area. Hey, it's within this walking distance of this school and this and that. Okay, that's cool. Maybe mention that, but I would focus on why they should work with you, to buy a home or sell a home in that area. Okay, pull out the things that are unique about you. Have a good CTA on the page, and then really start to scale that puppy out. Okay, let's say that they're looking for homes on the North Umpqua River. Okay, North Umpqua River homes. Look at this, North Umpqua River homes for sale. Cool. How do I own that? Awesome. This page here was launched about 6 months ago. It overtook Zillow, and Realtor. It's beating 3 Zillow pages and Realtor.com for the #1 position there. Okay, so they're starting to become that niche local authority where all of those searches for their main niches, they're starting to put up content that's getting ranked. They're capturing traffic and leads that Zillow is not capturing. Okay, that's one of many ways, but that is exactly how your clients are searching. Now, this is where the last part of it is. Once they finally decide where they want to buy a house, and if they don't have an agent, this is where they're probably going to finish it up at, is like, sell my house fast Roseburg. If they're looking to get an agent to sell. Okay, so sell my house fast Roseburg. There's an ad. Okay, and then right here you have Carrot clients ranking really high. That's a Carrot agent. Ranking on page 1 for how to sell a house fast in the entire city. Okay, or what other phrases pop up here that you might type in? Like best real estate agents in Roseburg. Okay, that's a phrase that as they're getting closer and closer to the buy decision, now they're going to start to type in the real estate agent side of things. And this particular client hasn't focused on that a lot yet, but that's the next one that they're going to want to focus in on. They just cracked page 1 there. So if you can imagine that, you've identified your 2 or 3 niches. You go all in on creating a location page for each niche. I'll show you this, how the strategy breaks out here in a second. I'll pull out my iPad and I'm going to walk you guys through the Carrot Authority building worksheet. Okay. You nail your niches. You create a location page that ranks following our Beat Zillow framework, which I'll show you here in a bit. Okay. Then next, what you do is you create 3 to 5 videos like that one with Denny on each one of those niches. And just with your cell phone, 3 to 5 minutes. I'll talk about why 3 to 5 minutes is important here in a second. And then you send it through our system to get it automated into a written blog post. And then you just keep up a cadence where it's literally 20 minutes a week. All you're doing at that point is just coming up with good, simple content that dives into your niches, sharing it on YouTube, putting it on your Carrot site through video posts, and share it on Facebook. If you do that over and over again with great follow-up on the back end, you're going to crush it. You are going to absolutely crush it. And your website should not be just a website for IDX properties. Moving forward, y'all, there's so many tools out there that, like I said, are going all in on building this amazing IDX tool. But it's my conviction that if you're going to try to go head to head with the big tech giants and trying to build better technology than them, I think you're going to be fighting a losing battle. You should go head to head with those tech giants and head to head with your other competitors, doing things that they can't do. They can't be you. They can't have your expertise with your niches. They can't have your personality. They can't have your network. Put those things out there, go all in on those, and then have the IDX and the fancy tools amplify those. Don't have the IDX tool be the main thing. I think that's a recipe for losing over the long term. Short term, it's going to work amazingly. Recipe for losing over the long term. And what we're all after here is building an evergreen marketing machine. Now, what does that mean? I've started to hammer on this concept quite a bit recently. And there's some questions coming through here, guys. Really good questions. Keep the questions coming. I'll answer them here in a bit. Ron says, it seems like most of the examples given were small markets. Does it work in a larger city to compete with Zillow? It totally does. But once again, what you have to do, Ron, is you have to go niche. Okay. And I can give some larger city examples for sure. 100% for sure. Okay. We can give you some larger city examples, but it's not about smaller cities. The reason that I showed those examples because that's where I'm in Rosewood right now. I looked at it, but it's not about smaller cities. It's about smaller niches. So if you're in Dallas, what are the neighborhoods you work in? What are the types of properties you work in? What are the niches of properties? And then I would start to go down that rabbit hole of doing some Google searches and see what Google pops up as suggested ranking or suggested searches. And then I would create content on those things. Okay. So no, you're not going to beat Zillow for Dallas homes for sale or homes for sale in Dallas. Okay. You're not going to beat Zillow for Little Rock, Arkansas homes for sale. That's not going to happen. But what you can beat them for is XYZ Country Club homes for sale in Duluth, Minnesota. Okay, you can beat them for that stuff. The cool thing about that, y'all, is those searches are the most valuable ones. Those ones are they're worth the most because the person is so hyper targeted. And if you're an expert in it, they are looking for exactly what you have. And if you show them the content that shows you're an expert, bam, you've got the sale. You got the sale. You guys nailed it. Okay. So I've got a concept called hamster wheel marketing versus building a brick wall. Okay. And hamster wheel marketing is the equivalent of kind of this picture here is that the hamster wheel will stop spinning the second that you get out of it, right? The second you get out of that thing, not the second. Okay. Let me reverse. You're running on the hamster wheel. It picks up momentum. It has momentum. It's working. Like it's clearly spinning. It's clearly working. It's clearly getting the result that you hoped it would get, right? But then you step off of it. The driving power of the hamster wheel, as soon as you step off of it, is gone. So over 5-10 seconds, the hamster wheel is going to get slower until it eventually stops. Okay, you are having to drive your marketing, and your marketing will not work if you don't keep on doing your marketing. If you're doing hamster wheel marketing, I'll give you some examples of that here in a second. Examples of hamster wheel marketing. Okay, direct mail, cold calling, doing text message marketing, doing social media posts on Facebook, on Instagram. Now, these are amazing ways to market. By no means do I ever want to say not to do these because we do these. Okay, we do all of them. Okay, we do this too. So we're not saying that they don't market, but that's not a way to build your business as the foundation of your business. And a little bit ago, Laura said on this call, I haven't taken any time off in 2 years. And it's because you've got hamster wheel marketing and hamster wheel processes. Okay. Your marketing stops working when you stop working, and your system stops working when you stop working. And what we need to do is we need to replace you with something that's more evergreen, something that's a brick wall, something that can, you stack a brick. A brick wall doesn't get built immediately. It gets built brick by brick. Right? It gets built brick by brick. You put the first brick down, and then you put the second brick down, then the third, and then the 20th, and then the second row, then the 5th row, then the 10th row. And it takes some time and it takes some work. Those bricks are heavy, right? They're heavy. But a brick wall, when a brick wall is done, it bounces everything back to you for you. A brick wall does the work for you, which is so cool. And like I said, the difference is here. A hamster wheel is so sexy because when you hop on a hamster wheel, it gives you immediate feedback. Okay. You're getting leads immediately when you do these things. Okay, but the second you stop, it stops. So it's like crack cocaine where you got to keep on hopping back on the hamster wheel, and eventually you end up getting burnt out. Who on this call can relate to that? Who on this call can relate to hamster wheel marketing? And you know that if you get off the hamster wheel, it's going to stop. So you've got to keep on getting back on it. And that's not a way to build a business that gives you freedom, that gives you flexibility, that gives you the impact that you want to make. You can be making some money. You're going to be burning out. Okay, instead, let's do the hard work. Let's do the boring work. Let's do the hard work and stack bricks. Now, what are bricks for us? Bricks are pieces of content. Bricks are pages on your website. Okay, that's awesome. Ron says, that's why I'm here. I love it. Bricks are pieces of content and pages on your website. And the cool thing about pieces of content and pages on your website, just like that example I showed before with the farmland, okay, this here was written in 2017. Now, do you guys think that a phone call that person made on May 5th of 2017 is still producing revenue for them today? Do you think that a direct mail drop that they for those 30 people in that neighborhood that they did in 2017 is still producing a bunch of business for them today? Do you still think that one activity that they did in 2017 is still the root of their business? No. Like, all of those types of marketing have a shelf life. Okay. Once again, direct mail, it has a shelf life. Social media posts, it has a shelf life. Right here, I just pulled this morning. How long do social media posts last? The content you publish on Instagram tends to last much longer than Facebook posts. The average Instagram content lifespan is 48 hours, during which time most posts receive 75% of their total comments. Okay, so between 48 and 72 hours is the lifespan of the social media posts we're making. And that forces us to be on the hamster wheel, right? Because 42 hours later, 24 hours later, we got to make another one, 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 got to make another one. Now, Facebook ads make this better, because then we can take that, and it's not quite a brick wall. It's not quite a hamster wheel. It's somewhere in between. Okay, Facebook ads, we take that and then we put it on autopilot, but then you have to check those weekly, every other week, something like that. Okay. Now, with content, you create it once, you then maybe go in there and optimize it. I'll show you some ways that you can do that we're even doing it here on the G Styles or the G Team site. Okay. So inside of our system, after we launch a piece of content, and right after this, I'm going to be bringing up our authority builder worksheet for you. But right after we create a piece of content, and I'll show you a real world example of it, is they're in our office here not too long ago, and they came up with their next batch of niche location pages. And one of them was new construction. Okay. One of them was, what was it? It was this very specific home builder that they have a bunch of listings with. And they said, what if we could rank really well for the name of that home builder? Because the home builder doesn't even have a website. So they went in there and created a page. Okay. This one we just added to the ranking tracker today. They created a page, but Mid-Oregon builders homes for sale. That's something people are typing in. After 3 to 4 weeks, Mid-Oregon's builders Facebook page is there, and then G Team's number 3 in Google for the home builder has dozens of homes for sale all around Mid and Southern Oregon right now. Okay, so they launched this page. Our philosophy is follow our model and get it out the door. Like, get it out the door, get it online. You don't have to make it perfect. Just get the darn thing online, following our framework, and then track it. Okay, track it in our system to go, cool, awesome. It's kind of hovering around page 3 or bottom of page 1 or number 3, and then go back and tweak it. Okay, and then just let it roll. So that's what you're doing with building a brick wall, is you're stacking these things up. And eventually they're going to have dozens and dozens of these content pieces and pages up online, swarming the market for their niches. And they're going to be the massive authority in that market. Okay, and that's what we call building a 3-legged stool. And while so many agents really focus in on social, I love social. Social is great. We use it. Social is an amazing tool. We have so many agents that are crushing it on social media, and you should continue doing that. You should not stop that. What we say is you should not ignore the massive opportunity and inflow of inbound marketing through Google search. While so many agents are focusing on hamster wheel marketing of Facebook and Instagram, and then the smart ones are turning on good ad campaigns that make it not as much hamster wheel marketing. But then you've got your offline side, which is networking, maybe some direct mail, but you're completely ignoring the thing in the middle. And when you have a 2-legged stool, if you could picture yourself sitting on a 2-legged stool, you can't hold that. The stool will not stand up by itself. If you get off of the stool, it falls over, right? If you get off of a 2-legged stool, it falls over. That's because you are supporting your stool. Imagine that stool being your business. You are supporting your business. Your business will fall over if you get off of it, if your marketing looks like this. But if you add a 3rd leg to the stool, one that's consistent, one that's predictable, one that continues to grow momentum every year, and more people are using their cell phones and doing Google searches to find this stuff, and this right here is like the golden age, the perfect opportunity to dive in and do this, then you have a 3-legged stool. This can stand up on its own. You can get off of this and leads will keep on coming in. You can now have your business support you rather than you supporting it. So that's our goal with this marketing methodology, to build authority through evergreen content marketing, then amplify it on social media. It's how you build a massive, amazing 3-legged stool. Okay, inbound marketing also is where our clients report are the highest margin deals or the highest motivated clients. The reason for that is because these prospects are seeking you out, right? You're not interrupting them through Facebook. They are actually actively in the process of looking for a solution to their problem. They're actively doing Google searches. They're actively looking for something, and they're looking for an expert. They're looking for someone that they can land on a website and go, man, I really like this person. Man, this person knows a lot about this topic. I should probably work with them rather than risking working with my Aunt Betty over here who's got a license, but she's not really as much of an expert on it. Right? That's why inbound is so powerful. And to make it all work, you've got to have a high performing website, which is what we really focus on here at Carrot. Okay. And we're going to talk about that here in a bit. But here's from Kimberly. She said, I switched from KV Core to Carrot and I love it. I have more control with Carrot and I brand myself rather than my broker, using KV Core for my broker. Guys, that's the key. You have to be branding yourself, not your broker moving forward. You have to be branding yourself, not Zillow. You have to be branding yourself and building authority for yourself in the niches that you want to focus in. And we'll talk about niches here in a second. Darlene Tatlow said, I've been an agent for 8 years, first 5 years with companies that provided websites that did nothing for me. Until this program, I did see the need for one and have, until this program, I didn't see the need for one and have done fine without it. But now I see the need, especially after Rob Vaughn posted his success with the landing page. I have Carrot, and since I know nothing about websites, et cetera, these guys have been fabulous. They're working out all the kinks, and I have my IDX with them. I can't wait to see what they have done and get it up there. I'm very cost conscious as well, but this is the best site I've seen so far. You can always try the one being offered, and if you can get Carrot. I love it. Cool. So let's pull this up now, guys. I'm going to pull up my iPad here in a second. And if you're on the page, if you're on this page here, I'm going to flip it up on the screen again. Carrot.com/scale/live. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, go to our actual live broadcast page, which is carrot.com/scale/live. And that's where the downloads are for this call. So there's going to be a big orange button right below that. And let me see if I can pull this puppy up here for you. Okay. Live. So I'll pull this up here for you right now. There's this big orange button right here. And if you click it, it's going to download the Carrot Authority Builder worksheet. Now, this is going to be key for you. If you're taking our challenge starting here shortly next week, the first week, we're going to be diving in pretty detailed on the Carrot Authority Builder with you. Okay. So make sure to download this right now. This is going to be kind of the crux of what we're going to start doing. But before we do, what is authority? What is authority and why is authority important? And this is a question that someone posed to me a couple months back. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, it's not just about building expertise, right? Guys, there's tons of experts out there. Okay. An expert is just simply someone who knows a lot about something. All right. An expert is someone who simply knows a lot about something. Okay. But an authority is something different. And authorities are the ones who are going to earn more money. Authorities are the ones who are going to win this market. Now, an authority doesn't have to be a charismatic person who's good on video. An authority doesn't have to be someone who is rich. An authority doesn't have to be someone who's outgoing. Authority is just someone who is an expert that a lot of people know is an expert. And over here, you have the earning potential, and then you have your influence. And influence is really important. It's going to be crazy important as more of the tech giants come into the market, because it's your job to influence your prospects in a way that helps them get the best result they can possibly get. Sometimes that might be working with a tech giant. Sometimes that might be making a full cash offer on their property and working with an investor or becoming one yourself. And sometimes that might be working with you as an agent to list the property so you can do it great for them, or to work with them as a buyer. Okay. And so right here, at the very lowest level of earning potential and influence is the servicer. That's someone who's got the license. That's someone who's, they know how to do the transaction. They can process the transaction. They know the nitty gritty of processing real estate transactions. That's your Aunt Betty over there who's got the license. She's done some deals, some transactions. She's kind of a part-time agent, but she's really not like a full expert in any one niche there, but she can do the thing. Okay. They're not going to make much money and they're not going to have much influence. Those are going to be the first ones that get cut out with technology. Okay. So I don't want you to be in the servicer bucket. I do want you to start to strive more towards expert, right? And what an expert is someone who puts in the time to learn a lot about something. Right. So it could be like G Team. They know a lot about the North Home Core River. They know a lot about small income properties. They know a lot about kind of lifestyle homes. And the reason they know a lot about those is because they've spent a lot of time in them. Right. They live in a North Home Core River home. Her parents have one. They've sold mine to me, and they've sold a ton of them out there. So they are an expert in North Home Core River homes. And some of that takes time, but some of it just takes putting your head down and becoming an expert in something rather than trying to be a generalist in everything. And that's one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of agents making right now, y'all, is I get resistance. I get resistance all the time on people saying that they don't want to niche down. Pop through the questions panel right now. Let me know. Do you have resistance against niching down? Let me know and be honest. Be honest in the questions panel. Let me know. Do you have resistance in niching down? If you don't have resistance in niching down, I want you to let me know what your niches are. Okay. And what I suggest is between 1 and 3 niches. We'll talk about there in a second. But up here is authority. Now, authority gets paid more, has more influence. Okay. And authority is the only difference between an expert and an authority is more people know that an authority is an expert. More people know an authority is an expert. And the only way for more people to know that an authority is an expert is with content. The only way. And I want people to challenge me, but if you have another way that you can become an authority and get your expertise out to the world other than content, let me know what it is, because I'm struggling for it. I can't find it. And that's why we've grown our business so fast, because we said we're going all in on building authority, which means we have to build content, and we're going to make it as easy as possible for us. At the top end of the scale is a celebrity expert. That's someone who's on TV, right? That's your loser to listed, or whatever it's called, flipper to listed or something like that. That's your selling sunset. That's the $1 million listing, right? You might be way smarter than those people. You might know way more about the market than they do in those niches. You might be more of an expert, but they're making more money than you are because more people know that they're an expert. They're at the top end. What we suggest, y'all, is you focus on being an authority. If you want to be a local celebrity expert, amazing. We'll show you how to do that in the 30-day challenge. But if you want to be an authority, which is where I want most people to be, you're going to be just fine moving forward and crushing it in this market. Okay. At the bottom end, you're a commodity. Your commissions get cut. You're struggling to win business. And you're probably going to be on the brink of going out. And over here, you're a sought after expert. You're paid well. People refer you often. You own the conversation, the niche, and people come to you. Okay. This right here is when you're a servicer or even just an expert. You have boom and bust. Okay. This right here is when you build authority. You start to build momentum. All right. And authorities, like I said, will thrive in this market. Authorities are going to be the ones who thrive. So how are trusted authorities created? Now, we talked about authority. We talked about content. This is the Carrot Authority Builder. I'm going to bring up my iPad and start drawing on it. But the foundation of all of this, y'all, the foundation of all of this is your mission and values. That's going to be the first thing we tackle in the first few days of your agent 30-day authority building challenge that starts next week. If you guys want to join us, just go to carrot.com/challenge. And I don't know how many people have joined it during this call, but before we started the call, there were 20 spots left for capping it at 50. Okay. So if you want a spot over there, it's only $100. It's only $100. And you'll be able to dive in. Then we'll talk about the whole thing at the end of the call. We'll answer some questions. But with this, guys, the main thing I want you to do here is you've got to have a really good about page. Okay. If you want to take it to the next level, I would do a short video that's between 3 and 8 minutes max, probably 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. And one big mistake that a lot of people make with their mission and values part of it is they write something that's really basic and something that any other agent can plunk their face and name on and it would apply to them. And I think that's a really good rule of thumb, is if you can take any other agent in your market and plunk their face and name on what you say is your mission, okay, or what you say is your vision, then that is not a compelling mission and vision. That's one that you wrote for the marketplace, not for your heart. You wrote for the marketplace, not for your impact. You wrote for the marketplace and not something that's really going to help you get momentum. It's actually making you be a part of the clutter. What's an example of one of those missions and values, guys? All right, one of those is like, hey, I pride myself with providing the best service in Dallas, Texas. And we've lived here for over 15 years, and we're just passionate about working with buyers and sellers, helping them find their next home, right? Guys, any agent in the world can say those exact same things. So don't be making your mission and vision something that everyone else can say. We're going to be talking in the Carrot Authority Building Challenge, like so week 1, we're going to be talking about what a true amazing mission and vision is. Okay. So, that video should be just a few minutes. And what your mission and value should focus on is mostly the why, part of the part of the what, none of the how. Okay, mostly the why, part of the what, none of the how. Mostly the why, part of the what, and none of the how. Now, if you guys were to watch our video over here on our about page, it's 2 minutes, it's 2.5 minutes. Okay. And if you were to watch it, it talks about our why probably 80% of the time. It talks about what we actually do, probably 18% of the time. And then it talks about how maybe like 1.5% of the time, if not 0%. If you go through here, it talks about the why. It talks about our impact we're looking at making. It talks about why we do what we do, why we're passionate about what we do. Who is it that we focus on? Who is it that we want to help? What impact we want to make? Who do we want to drive? Guys, that right there is what's going to be standing out for you as an agent. Put that stuff on your about page, not basic stuff that any other agent can put on there. Okay, number 2, and we're going to be bringing up the iPad here in a second, taking you through that worksheet, is your niches. Okay, within your niches, we're going to be walking you through choosing your 1 to 3 niches, and then there should be a location or niche location page for each one of those niches, like North Umpqua River Homes or Melrose or Mid Oregon Builders, or XYZ Country Club Homes for Sale. Okay, there should be a page for each one of those niches, following our Beat Zillow framework. And then you should create 5 to 8 short videos that are 3 to 8 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes each about those niches. Upload them to YouTube. Upload them to your Carrot video post feature, where we can turn it into a written article for you automatically. It's saving you 40 minutes every single time you do it and hundreds of dollars. Okay, and then share that on Facebook. Okay, that right there is going to crush it. Okay, common blocks people have. I don't want to go so narrow that I'll lose business. I'll take anything in my area. I don't want to have a niche. Guys, that right there is massively, that's going to be one of your downfalls if you do that. Okay, and we eat our own dog food here. With Carrot, our company name is broad, but our niche is narrow. Now, our solution that we have here, this could work for financial planners, could work for plumbers. I've got a preschool using Carrot. My parents' equipment rental business uses Carrot. I've got my personal blog on Carrot. Okay, like you can use Carrot for pretty much anything. But we said the best way we can grow is by hyper focusing in on a couple niches that we can really deliver a targeted message to and really help really well and become the biggest authority in that. Okay. And because we did that, we grew faster, not smaller. Okay. And what a lot of people think is they think if they niche down, it's going to limit their ability to grow. It's actually the opposite of that. If you go kind of half C's in, half C niching, half C not, that's when you're going to be flailing. You got to go all in on it. So the solution is picking 1 to 3 niches. And here's the question I like to ask is, what would you love more of? What types of transactions, what types of properties would you love more of? What types of clients would you love to work more of and to pay you well? Write those down. Man, I love these types of properties. I'm an expert in these. They pay me well. Cool. Those might be great niches. Then locations. Okay. Where do you do business? Now we focus in on first on the city. What's your primary city? Then we try to focus on niche locations within that. So Roseburg, Oregon's a city. Melrose is a location within Roseburg. North Umpqua River Homes is a location within Roseburg. Mid Oregon Builders is a niche within Roseburg. Okay. So you pick your primary city to start and then do niches within that. And then you go to your secondary cities and do niches within that. Okay. And using the Beat Zillow framework. And here's kind of how it looks. Like I said, you have your city, which is like Roseburg Homes for Sale. Create a page on that using our Beat Zillow framework that gets you a better chance to rank well in Google and with our high converting, high performant tech stack. But it's going to be really hard to outrank Zillow and Realtor.com for that phrase for the city. So don't be banking all of your rankings on the city. Your rankings and actual leads are going to come from the niches and sub niches. So North Umpqua River Homes for Sale is a great niche. If you wanted to go even nicher, North Umpqua River Homes for Sale near Glide. Okay. So each one of these should be a location page or a niche page in our system. Okay. And just build them out over time. They don't have to be all done at once. Just build them out over time. All right, then the last part of it is all those other things I just talked about before, kind of one-time things. Okay, you do you get your mission values, you do a video one time, unless you want to update it. Okay, you build out your location pages one time, but then you're going to go tweak them as you need to, as our system guides you to get them better ranked. Okay, you're going to create your niche video series one time, unless you want to add more for each niche. Okay, but you can kind of lock those in. Now, recurring, you should then be taking out your cell phone and doing what I call on-the-job content. Okay, recurring, it's like 20 minutes a week, guys. 20 minutes a week. Everybody's got 20 minutes a week on here. Okay. The first part of it's maybe 3, 4, 5 hours to get that all done. Let's say maybe 2 days if you want to take it really slow. Okay. And then this right here is 20 minutes a week. And on the job content, you're actually out there on the job. A lot of blocks I have people telling me is I don't have time to do content. I don't know what topics to do content on. We're going to give you a ton of topics in the Authority Building Challenge. We're going to give you a ton of topics that you can just go and have ideas for. But the biggest ideas are what niches do you do? What locations are you in? And then anytime you're in those locations, in those niches, take out your cell phone and talk about it. Hey, I'm out here at one of the homes for Mid-Oregon Builders up here in Sutherland, Oregon. If you're looking to buy a home from Mid-Oregon Builders in Sutherland, here's the types of properties they're building right now. I'm going to walk you through two of the floor plans that they've got in this video. And we actually have a whole video series on Mid-Oregon Builders, homes that they have for sale now in Sutherland and Roseburg, where you can find them, the different models. We're going to go through quality and compare quality against other types of homes that are being built and Like, that would be an amazing series. Everyone's going to work with you if you're an agent. And then that only took you 20 minutes a week for maybe a month. Okay. All right, guys. And then our Agent Carrot marketing platform is going to help you with all that. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to switch over to my iPad, and then we're just going to go ahead and dive into the Authority Builder here. And we're going to build out, we're going to fill out this Authority Builder with you and for you. Okay. And then I'll take some questions and do all kinds of fancy stuff with you here. So let me stop the screen share. And while I'm stopping the screen share, guys, pop through some comments in here, pop through some questions. I want your feedback. Are you guys getting a lot from this call right now? Are you pulling away some good nuggets that you can actually start to go and implement and execute? I want to know that, y'all. I would be pumped to hear that. This is how I do it. Forgot about that. Pull up QuickTime. This is me forgetting a piece of technology on this thing. So guys, pop through the questions panel. What have you pulled away from this call so far? I would love to hear it. And any questions, like I said, that pop up, let me know. We will be answering those questions. And if you guys know that you just want to take this strategy, if you know that you have to make the shift, if you know that you want to and need to build authority, and you know that content is the only way to do it, then what I'd like for you guys to do is consider joining us on this challenge. Okay, like I said, it's a 30-day challenge during the month of September. It starts here shortly. And just go to carrot.com/challenge and claim one of those final spots. All right. We'd love to do it. We'll be starting here very shortly on it. So I've got my iPad pulled up here. Let me know, guys, in the comments section. Can you guys see my iPad? Can you guys see my iPad right now where it's showing scrolling up and down on the Authority Builder worksheet? This is where we're going to finish. Then I'm going to answer some questions, and then we'll dive in from there. One question here from Ron says, yes, because, and this goes back to niching. Okay. He says, yes, because not sure with current turnover, will it generate enough income? And that's the thing, Ron. When you niche, guys, it's going to generate more income like that. Man, I want to get you guys there. Okay. And I'll show you guys how that's going to happen, because think of this, guys. Okay. Think of this. Okay. So many people, and once again, myself included on this, if we would have started Carrot as a website builder for all businesses, okay, how would we hone in our marketing message? Who would we talk to? How would we make it so we're actually speaking to the people that we can help the best? What happens is, we wouldn't know who to hone in on, so we're trying to hone in on everybody, and then we're not showing the plumbers that we're the best solution for plumbers. We're not showing real estate investors we're the best solution for them. We're not showing agents we're the best solution for them. We're definitely going to get business for sure, but the problem is our message is going to be drowned out by the clutter of stuff out there, because we're not an expert in any one specific thing. Right. And if you're not showing that you're a clear expert in any one specific thing, you're just capturing the things that are thrown to you because of your personality, your connections. Like, that's it. Okay. You're currently capturing business because of your personality or your current connections or the referrals. Okay. And that's it. But imagine if you could capture business because you're an expert and authority on a topic. The reason we're capturing so much business right now is because we've chosen to go all in, saying, I'm going to solve this problem for agents. I'm going to solve this problem for investors. Okay. With you guys, it could be, I'm going to be the best agent. I'm going to sell more houses than anyone in these 3 country clubs in town. I'm going to be the best agent for all waterfront property in town. I'm going to crush that. And I'm going to put out more content, more expertise, do more networking, show up to more events, and crush the waterfront homes thing. I'm going to do the whatever it is, the first time home buyer, the medical housing, right? Like, if you're in a college town or a medical town, become the medical housing expert if that's something you want to become an expert in, and then put out so much content there and niche it down. And what also happens, guys, is niching doesn't necessarily mean you're turning down business. Okay. It doesn't mean if someone comes to you that you can't take their business if they're not in your niche. Okay. The G team has tons of clients that are not in one of those niches I mentioned. Okay. It doesn't mean you're turning down business. It means you are actually penetrating deeper into a market that you want to penetrate into, and giving yourself more opportunity to become the go-to expert there. And it's going to create such a flywheel of referrals your way that you're going to not be, it's guys, niche, please. Okay. So we're just going to go through this. I already walked you through these items over here. Okay. Which are kind of how long it takes. So this here, hour work max, just take out the cell phone or have someone do a little video for you, or just keep it simple at the start and just do a written about page. I can show you some really good examples that are just written about pages. They don't have a video, but it talks about their why. It has a good picture, things like that. Okay. Then let's say you have 1 to 3 niches. Okay. You're talking max 3 to 4 hours here. I mean, you're probably talking much less than that. Okay. I recorded, it was something like 10 or 15 videos on Thursday last week. And I recorded 10 or 15 videos in about 4 hours. Okay. 10 or 15 videos in 4 hours. They're all sub 5-6 minutes. And once you get the hang of it, you're just taking out that cell phone and you start to talk to your cell phone. You're talking to your niches. You're talking to your market. Okay. These here for a city or a niche, it's between 30 and 60 minutes to build out the page, to write the content, to optimize it. We have services that can do all that for you. With the G team, that's what they chose to do. They chose to go through our concierge program, where we actually dial in their design, we dial in their copy, we create their pages for them. We have a strategy call with them. That's in our concierge program. It's not cheap. It's between $2,500 and $3,500, but it's way cheaper than going for a custom website with a local web developer. It's going to perform way better. It's going to be cheaper in the long run because you have better marketing tools and you have a much better tech stack. We were just recently included in an article. We were actually surprised by it in a big way, where this research company did a research on local websites, 150,000 local websites around the internet in the US, and they pulled out the most popular website builders. They compared speed, page speed, and all this stuff. We weren't one of the big ones. Like Wix is the largest by far, and GoDaddy and Squarespace and stuff. But then they had this other section of smaller website builders. On that was us. On it was Playster.com and some others. And we were the fastest tech stack by far of all of the systems, even the bigger website builders, guys. We had the faster tech stack, the faster load time, the faster time to first byte, which is a techie phrase. The only website tool in this research study that beat us speed-wise was Google's own websites, like literally Google's own websites. They were the only ones, and it wasn't even that much faster as fractions. Everyone else, we crushed them. Okay, so that's something that we focus on for you guys, right? And then right here, weekly on the job content. I mean, that's even right there. That's more like 20 minutes a week. Okay. So that's your time commitment. The first month, let's say half a day, you can break it out into some time through our 30-day challenge. This right here is probably, another half a day for your 5 to 10 pages, or you can hire it out for us. And then this is 20 minutes a week. All right, so the first thing I would do, guys, is I would literally take this and print this off, guys, and spend an hour or two this weekend, this next week, or we'll be going through it with you on the 30-day challenge if you join that. Is I would write down why you love what you do. Okay, why do you love what you do? Now, if it's about commissions, if it's about you saying, "Oh, I love the area and I want to help people get an amazing home," cool, that's cool, but I don't really think that's why you love it. I don't think that's why you love it. If you love it, what is it that hits you at the core? I was talking with a friend and client of mine the other day, and Dave Brown. And Dave Brown, man's like the epitome of implementing this strategy, because he built out the niche pages. He has dozens, if not hundreds of them now, but it took him years to do it. And he's built it up to where he completely owns the New York market. If you're to Google anything that a house seller types, motivated house seller types in all those cities, he's probably ranked number one or one of the top 3. He generates a bunch of leads, bunch of deals, and all of his business comes from online organic now. Okay. And the reason I'm bringing it up is this, because when we were doing a podcast, this podcast will be out shortly. He basically said, he's like, man, you know your why when you start to talk about it and you get emotional. And every single time we have a company retreat, this happens to me. Okay. Every single time we have a company retreat, this happens to me. Is I show a video of our giving program and how we helped impact the community, or we read off a bunch of customer testimonials and doses of awesomeness and how we're changing their businesses and changing their lives, or this person that left their job and they had no hope and they were listening to our podcast and finally gained hope and positivity, and they went out there and did something. They got their first check and they now have hope again. It's like, guys, that stuff breaks me up. Like literally, it chokes me up. My gut starts like wrenching in a good way, and the team can tell obviously that I'm passionate about that impact. Now, it doesn't It doesn't get me all buttery-eyed. Buttery-eyed, is that even a phrase? It doesn't get me all teary-eyed, misty-eyed if I talk about leads, right? Leads are a great tool. Leads are an amazing tool. What gets me misty-eyed is the impact that we're having. And I want you guys to come up with your version of it. Okay. Figure out what makes you cry, what makes you emotional. Okay. What makes you emotional? Now, you guys came on this call, okay, to learn how to get more leads. You didn't come on this call to learn how to figure out a mission or a purpose, but I'm going to argue with you that one of the reasons we've grown so much and get so many leads, and the reason that our agents who do so great at this is because they have a mission and a purpose that they truly believe in at their core, and people are attracted to that. Okay. So what makes you emotional? Write that in there about what you do. Do you get emotional when you finally see that family settle into their home? Do you get emotional when you see the person who's been living in this house for 30 years and they're downsizing to something else, and you get to help them get that over to another family that can improve their property and love it and get them to another spot? Do you get emotional when people get to buy their vacation home? It was something they've been working for potentially their whole lives, to have this amazing vacation home where they get to have just family moments for decades. And you get emotional thinking about the moments that they're going to have in there. Do you get emotional when someone buys their home for the first time? They're the first home buyer in their whole family. No one has ever bought a home in their family before. They worked their butt off. You worked your butt off, found an amazing home for them, and you got them in their home. What about your job gets you emotional? I would argue if you can't find something that gets you emotional, you either need to tap into it more and really figure it out and test yourself on that, or potentially find a new career with something that really hits you at your core, that you can really, that lights you up. Okay. Next is, what niches will you focus on? A good question just came through from Glenn. He said, what are the best niches to go after, or that you have seen agents have the most success with? Okay. Awesome question, man. Now, this is not the answer that you want to hear, though. This is not the answer that you want to hear. The best niches are the ones that you're willing to go all in on. Okay. It's kind of like asking, me on the software side, Glenn. It's like, hey, cool, Trevor, what are the best software niches that you've seen other software company owners be successful in and have the most success with? It's like, well, I don't know. I mean, real estate's an awesome one, and software for SaaS owners is an awesome one. We pay them a lot of money. Software for architects is an awesome one. I've got a friend, guys, in my mastermind on the real estate side, where he has a business that does $11 million a year. He nets $6 million of it. That's his net profit, selling 3D rendering software for swimming pool designers. Like literally millions a year, over 10 million a year, netting over 6 swimming pool designer software. And he's crazy passionate about it. Okay. Glenn says that makes total sense, Trevor. So here's the thing, guys. It's, what are you willing to go all in on? Okay. If we weren't willing to go all in on Carrot and all in on these niches, we would not be successful. Okay. If you're going to go half season to first time home buyers, okay. If you're going to go half season to first time home buyers, then you're probably not going to be successful. If you're going to go half season into river homes, you're probably not going to be successful. Okay. But if you look at the people, like let's look at Selling Sunset as an example, that TV show. I don't watch TV, but for some reason I got locked into that stupid show. So Selling Sunset, they hyper focus in on really high end homes, okay, in Beverly Hills. It's their primary niche. Okay, then within that, they probably have even more niches. Within that, they probably got a niche that's even further in that, of like, they do have a niche that's huge, like $20 million plus homes. And then, so that's a certain type of a seller and a buyer, right? So they've got a niche down certain content that focuses in on a certain buyer and seller and networking, getting around those circles. And then they've got these other niches here. Okay. And now I don't know what those niches are, but they chose to go all in on those. Now, what if though? What if you were an agent in LA and you said, "Hey, there's amazing opportunity everywhere. I'm going to be a Los Angeles real estate agent, and I'm not going to niche. I'm just going to be Los Angeles real estate agent." Do you think that you'd be getting those $5 million listings consistently in Beverly Hills if you had no niche, but you were just an amazing Los Angeles real estate agent, but you didn't want to niche down because you felt it was limiting your ability? No, you wouldn't be getting these. Okay, you wouldn't be getting these. You'd probably be getting the $350,000 homes. You're probably getting the ones from your friends, from your family, from your direct contacts. Okay, maybe some from your Facebook ads, but that's because you did content, right? That's only because you did content, which is good. Okay, that's why you're getting those homes, or you got them from cold calling. Okay, which works. Keep doing that if it's working. That's a grind. Okay, that's hamster wheel. That's hamster wheel. That's cold calling. Okay. keep doing it, but recognize that it's a hamster wheel. Recognize you've got to build up a brick wall by creating these pieces of content in your niches that eventually build a wall to where you can pull back and go, man, I'm getting leads coming in every month now, and I can predictably hire somebody now because I'm getting consistent leads coming in. And because I can predictably hire somebody, I can put someone into those systems, and then I can finally step back and go to the beach and have a vacation. And I can like sit on the beach and have my little towel up here, and I can just kind of hang out and sunbathe and do whatever the heck I want to do. That's my sunbathing picture, guys. Terrible sunbathing picture, right? But that's me. I can do that now because I built the brick wall and got off the hamster wheel. And the only way you can build a brick wall is with consistency, right? Predictability in your lead flow. And the way that you do that is by continuing to do some hamster wheel stuff as long as you can, but then building brick walls with content and building brick walls with systems. Okay. So that right there is that. But other niches. So let's say once again, let's do this, guys. Let me toss this at you guys. Are there any questions you guys have? What's up? I think it's Emil says, is the webinar that I'm attending now on the 30-day challenge live? Can I comment? Yep. We are fully live. Yep, live. Go ahead and send your question. We're live, guys, right now, for sure. Okay, are there any other questions around niches? I'd love to dive in with some of you guys and actually do some of this on the spot. Would anyone like a live niche analyzation here? Like, I'd love to dive in with you guys and pick some niches here, okay? And then I'm going to wrap this up, and we're going to make sure you guys download this Authority Builder training. We'll answer some questions. And I want to get the darn challenge filled tonight. Like, I don't want to wait until Friday because I want to start gearing up for it. I'm gearing up for the start that's happening next week on it. We have 20 spots open left on it, carrot.com/challenge, carrot.com/challenge. And I want you guys to fill that puppy up because we're going to be diving into this daily, small bite-sized things. I'm going to be shifting your marketing mindset. I'm going to be helping you guys build this brick wall live on the calls, or not live on the calls, but in the trainings and live each week. We're going to be diving into this. And you're not going to get it all built. You're not going to have like a 12-foot brick wall built by the end of the 30 days, but hopefully you'll have a couple layers built and you'll have a good foundation for it. Okay, here we go, Glenn. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. So Glenn says this. One of my niches is going to be vacation homes to the beach that everyone goes to from my hometown. That is 2 hours away, vacation condo. So what beach is that, Glenn? What beach is it, man? So what I want to do is I want to go over and I want to actually start searching in Google and finding the keyword phrases. This is exactly how I would target and create your niches. Okay. And once again, it doesn't mean that your homepage has to be all about vacation condos. Now, and that's kind of where I want you guys to figure out how you're going to niche down is with us for Carrot, we fully focused in on niching all of our website and investors at the start. And now we're having to spread focus now because, man, we can help agents and investors massively. So we're having to change our messaging. Okay. So what you guys need to do is go, awesome. Is any one niche going to account for more than 50% of my business? Okay. Is any one niche going to account for over 50% of my business? Okay. If any one niche accounts for more than 50% of your business, you will probably want to heavily focus your homepage on that niche. Okay. You want to make sure when someone lands there, they're clear that you are the condo and vacation condo expert in St. Augustine, Florida. But it doesn't mean you can't also put in there, hey, we help tons of homeowners in St. Augustine, Florida, buy and sell homes. And we have built a reputation for being the number one expert for vacation condos in St. Augustine. So look at that. I showed my expertise in vacation condos, but I also didn't limit myself just to that. Okay. It's the oldest city in the USA. Glenn is saying all the high school spring break kids go there with their parents and for summer vacations. I love it. Okay. So if more than 50% of your income comes from one specific niche, I would definitely make sure that that's a heavy emphasis on your homepage. Let's say you have 3 niches though, and it's like 10% of my income comes for that. 20% comes from this, but I'd really like for more to come from. Like, I'd love for a lot more to come from this, but right now 70% comes from this. Okay, which I'm just gonna say maybe this is like first-time home buyers, right? But let's say 70% of your income comes from that, but you don't want it to come from that anymore. Let's say you'd rather have this be 30% and this be 70%, right? And this is vacation condos. Okay, vacation condos, St. Augustine. My writing is amazing. And then this here might be whatever else it is, right? So if you're kind of a split like this, your home pages are going to be split on it a little bit. Hey, I'm Glenn. I'm a local real estate expert in St. Augustine, Florida. We help tons of people buy and sell vacation condos. We are absolutely passionate about helping people find their first homes. And we also do this too. If you fall in one of these buckets, click the link and go check out how we can help you. You know, like that's the way that you niche down by not pushing people away. Okay. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna change the screen I'm sharing right here. I'm gonna share my web browser, and then we're gonna bounce back over to showing you guys Google and exactly how I do this. And I'll answer questions, wrap this puppy up. So one of Glenn's niches is vacation condos in St. Augustine, Florida. So this is exactly what. Okay, look at this. This is exactly what I would actually type into Google. I'm going to sit down, guys. This is exactly what I would type into Google if I was looking to buy a vacation condo in St. Augustine. Okay, I'd start to type it in and see what Google will give me suggestions for. Most of it's rentals. Maybe it's vacation condos for sale, vacation properties for sale. You start typing in. What I do is I look and see if Google gives me any smart suggestions. Okay. So dude, look at this, man. Pet friendly condos for sale in St. Augustine, Florida. Glenn, man, if that's, I don't know if that's beach condos, but dude, people are searching that stuff. That is an amazing niche to do. Google's like telling me this. So what I would do is I would do this, Glenn. I would literally take this, I'd click it. Okay. I would go into my Carrot site. All right, I would just go ahead and do this. I'm just going to pop into the back end of this one. I'm not going to actually launch this live. I'm going to go here to locations. I'm going to create a location page for this. Okay. I would go ahead and click add new. I'm going to literally take this keyword right here because Google's telling me about it. Okay. And of course, you're going to want to go through and spend 10, 15 minutes just doing some basic research. I mean, if I were actually doing this in real time, I would take all these and I would copy and paste the keywords that interest me, and I'd probably put them into a document somewhere. And then I'd kind of rate them a little bit. Okay. I'd kind of rate them a little bit and go, this is the one I'd really like to do. These are other ones. Okay. And the way that I would do it is I'd probably do it this way, actually, Glenn, is that hierarchy that I mentioned before. You start broad and you go narrow, right? So you would have St. Augustine homes for sale, which would be like your primary one for that area, but you're not going to get it ranked well because it's going to be really hard to compete against Zillow. But then I would do one that's specifically for St. Augustine condos for sale. So new condos, pet friendly, condos for sale. Okay. That would be the one, that would be my higher level one. Cause that's a niche, right? That's a niche. So condos for sale, St. Augustine, Florida. That one too is probably going to be decently hard to rank for because it's probably a really competitive one, but you can rank for it for sure. It's going to take a little bit of work. Okay. Condos for sale, St. Augustine, Florida. You might put in something extra here. Oceanfront. I don't know if there's any other types. I'm just going to put something else. Oceanfront. Maybe there's this other neighborhood, right? Neighborhood one, hood one, hood two, or whatever, right? And then I would use the Beat Zillow framework. I would essentially type up 250 or so words of content here. Okay, words of content here. I'd throw in a picture right here. Guys, you guys are going to love this, actually. We're rolling out visual editing in Carrot, hopefully before the end of the quarter, where you're going to be able to go through. Let me show you this. Completely getting. I saw a squirrel. I saw a squirrel. So let me show you guys this real quick. Okay. So I'm going to go into our blog posts, and I'm just going to take one of these blog posts and show you guys something real quick. Okay. Okay, cool. So look at this, guys. You guys are getting access to this. Let me know if you guys think this is cool. Okay. So this right here is the old Carrot content builder, just kind of native WordPress stuff, right? And it's not bad, but the problem is what your content doesn't really look like it's going to look on a page. Like if you had a form in here, the form is going to look, it's going to be like a short code or whatever. This is the new builder. Okay, this is the new builder. You can adjust the way that your toolbar looks. You can go full screen mode. You can turn full screen mode off. Spotlight mode, where only spotlights the parts that you're editing. I'm just going to turn off spotlight mode. I'm going to keep full screen mode on, but it just essentially makes the page look exactly like it's going to look live on the screen. If you want to edit this section, just edit it. If you want to add a new section, cool. Click this little plus box. I want to do a gallery, or I want to do a list, or I want to do a cover photo, or add a file in there, or whatever. Let's go ahead and click list and type it up, and your list is in there. You want to drag it around, man. I don't want it there. I'd rather have this like down here somewhere. You just drag it around. So that's all going to be in place very, very shortly. And there's gonna be some custom blocks in there too. It's gonna make your guys' life so much easier. So let me know if you guys like that feature. But I write 250 words of content there. I would put in my IDX properties here, okay, that are specifically condos in that. Then I do the rest of the Beat Zillow framework, okay, which is published inside of our training and inside of the 30-day challenge. All right, I'd maybe add in some pictures in here of condos and make sure that this is optimized in our SEO tool for that phrase. I'd launch that puppy. Okay, so now I've got my page overall for condos in St. Augustine. Now I'm going to do sub niches. Okay, so if I were to go back to this, Glenn, and show you this once again, you have cities, you have niches, and sub niches. So I just did a city there. Then I did a niche. This is a niche, condos. A sub niche is pet friendly condos for sale. Okay. So, dude, capitalize these things, just make them look nice. These are things we can do for you in our services division. And guys, this is something that no one else is doing in this industry to the level that we're doing it. If you want to beat Zillow, if you want to beat the mega agents, do the things that they aren't doing. And Zillow is creating pages like this, but they're not creating pages that have as much credibility, expertise, and content that you can add in there. Add videos on there. I'll do all kinds of stuff. Do the same thing here, Glenn. 250 words of content up here, a little bit about the pet-friendly condos, but mostly about your expertise and why they should work with you. Put an image in there, IDX properties. Now, this is probably going to be really hard, honestly. A lot of IDXs, you probably won't be able to find that IDX listing of just pet-friendly condos. So IDX might be something that we take out of there, and maybe you just mainly focus in on not having IDX properties in there at all, but you write a lot more content. Maybe it's 500 to 800 words of content. You put a bunch of pictures in there. You show some testimonials in there, and then you have a form down here that's a call to action. For get access our pet friendly condo list updated daily or whatever. Then as people join that, dude, you just pull your own list and send them your own list of pet friendly condos. Okay, then you just start following up. All right. So now you kind of did the whole thing. You set up a St. Augustine, Florida homes for sale. Then you set up a niche level, which is condos for sale in St. Augustine, Florida. Then you set up a sub niche. And if you just kind of march down that, Glenn, and every quarter focus in on going, cool, what niche do I want to focus in on? And don't overburden yourself. I mean, this is a long-term game. Guys. We're not saying to do this all in a week. We're not saying to do this all in a month even. Okay. We're saying look at it in a long-term frame and look at it as I'm really looking to get results from this in 6 to 12 to 18 months. I'm not looking for results on this immediately. The way that you get results immediately is by amplifying this on Facebook and Google AdWords done correctly, which we teach some of that in the 30-day challenge. We're going to come out with a lot more trainings on that here shortly. Awesome, man. So Glenn says, this is huge because some don't allow pets. Thanks so much, Trevor. I love it, man. What's up? This says, I Googled my county as opposed to my city, and there are no takers on it. Should I make it one of my niches for an area or location? What is your, I think it's Emil or Emil, what is your county? And I guess what is the niche you're looking for? Because in some areas, people do Google by county, like Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, a lot of people search by county instead of city. It's just they talk in counties there. Some people talk in townships. Okay, it just really depends on how you guys identify in your area. If you identify by cities or townships or counties, that's probably what we'll want to build out pages for. Okay, but homes for sale, Pennsylvania. Okay, so I'm not sure if it is going to do this, but oftentimes it comes up counties. It's like Berks County and whatever it is. Okay, yeah. So let me know. You said you Googled my county as opposed to city, and there are no takers on it. Should I make? Most areas, the rule of thumb, most areas don't Google by county. Most areas is by city, and then they start to dive into niches with neighborhoods and things like that. Okay. Awesome, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this up with some questions, but what I want to ask you guys and pose this question to you is could you guys use some help and accountability with implementing this? And I think the main thing is this, guys. If you're fully bought into the fact that the industry is changing, and it's not just changing the way that it has in the past, it's changing in ways that it has never changed in the past. Okay, it's changing in ways where not only is the market at a point to where it's going to make some sort of a shift, which that itself can be a disruption for many agents if you don't shift, but also the technology has caught up with the inefficiencies I think it's a major opportunity for a lot of agents, and it's going to be a major pain for a lot of agents. But the next thing is, if you believe the shift is happening, okay, which it is, it's happening. Number two, I feel the only way to win during this shift, it's not with better IDX tools. It's gonna be really hard to compete with Realtor and Zillow with all that stuff. Okay, you should definitely create an IDX tool that's good enough, right? But IDX is not going to win it for you over the long term. It's going to be a great tool for now, but it's not going to win it over the long term. Number two, it's not going to be with a fancy automation tool like KW Command. I love Keller Williams. KW Command is amazing, but you can only scale what you put into it. If you're not building authority and building credibility and expertise with content, everything you're putting into KW Command is going to be less effective because you have a less effective brand. You're not an authority. Okay. The only way to win in this market long term, or the best way, not the only way, the best way, I feel, is to become a local niche authority. And the only way to build authority is with content. The only way to build authority is with content. There's no other way. An authority is simply an expert who a lot of people know is an expert. And the only way you can do that is with content. And I really feel the best way possible to do content is not hamster wheel content. It's not getting on the hamster wheel, putting out content 1, 2, 3 times a day, 4 times a week on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, that's going to keep you in the hamster wheel forever, and you're going to get burnt out. You're going to be like Laura earlier was talking about, and Ron was talking about, where they haven't taken the time off because they're on a hamster wheel. Their marketing is a hamster wheel marketing plan, and their business is a hamster wheel marketing business. But it all goes back to the way that you're marketing. Because if you have consistency in your lead flow, if you have predictability in your lead flow, if you have momentum in your lead flow, which happens with building a brick wall versus hamster wheel, then you can plan on that. You can plan and say, hey, I know that my leads are coming in. It took a little while for them to get there. It's a slow ramp. Momentum takes time. It's not this immediate thing. Okay. There's some tools out there that are immediate quick hits. But what happens when that starts to go down? You got to find another immediate quick hit, and you're always on the hamster wheel. You're just getting off of one hamster wheel and go to the next. But if you pull back and say, okay, I know this is going to take work. Bricks are heavy. They take work. It takes some time to stack them, but I'm going to stack them. And when the wall is one brick layer high, it's not going to do much for it. It's not going to bounce a ball back for it. When it's 2 layers high, it's going to keep some ants out, but it's not going to do much for it. When it's 10 layers high, that's going to start to do some things for it. That's kicking some balls back. That's kicking some things back. 20 layers high, you got a wall that's doing a lot of the work for you at that point. And you can be like David Brown, one of our clients who was an agent and an investor. And he literally recently took his whole website, because he's got so much momentum with his content after years. He leased his website out for multiple 5 figures a month to an investor in that market. You can do the same thing for an agent though. And multiple 5 figures a month, he's leasing out all of the lead flow to them, and he does none of the work anymore. He's sitting back pocketing 5 figures a month because he's built momentum. Never could have happened if he was going all in on social media posting, cold calling, RVMs, direct mail, none of that. Okay. But once again, don't ignore those other things, because you've got to put money in your pocket while your momentum is building with your content. While the momentum is building with your content, you've got to do the short-term hamster wheel tactics to keep money in, to keep money coming in, so you can hire people, so you can do whatever, put food on the table, but then really focus in on building this long term. But could any of you guys use some help and accountability in implementing this? Let me know through the questions panel if you guys could. If you guys would love some help in accountability, if you guys would love to dive in on the 30-day challenge. I know I mentioned it a bunch during this call. Guys, I don't have a big multi-$1,000 offer here for you. I don't have this hard close and like all this crazy stuff. I don't have any bonuses for you. Okay, that's not what we're about. What I'm talking about here is doing the boring work that's going to get you the results over the long term, that's going to keep you valid in the marketplace. It's going to build you momentum in the marketplace. It's going to make you so you now don't become a darn commodity in the marketplace. That's part of my mission. I want to see you guys build amazing businesses that you can make an impact in your communities with. And you can't do it if you're stressed out all the time about where your leads are coming from. Okay. So we've got the Carrot 30-day authority building challenge. I will take you by the hand, get you your first or next 15 leads online, and build a foundation for scaling your local authority. Now, I do want to be clear on this. Now, we're not doing the work for you. Okay. We're not doing the work for you guys. Okay. This is we're going to guide you through the process, but you've got to do the work. Now, we do have services that can do all or parts of this for you. Like if you're like, hey, I just really want a website built out like this G-Team one. Okay. G-Team went through our concierge service where we built it out for them. We made it look great. We made it look great. We went on to their, we built their community pages for them, and we got them optimized, and we added in all their reviews and their credibility. So when someone lands here, it's a really amazing credibility spot. We built out a really good, about page that talks about who they are and their mission and their values and all that stuff. Okay, this is all concierge. Or Krista May Shore, partner of ours, an amazing agent as well, top one in Brentwood, California. She came through our concierge program, did the same thing. She's like, I'd much rather just pay you guys to do it rather than me doing it myself. Okay, so she did that, and same thing. We came in and built her community pages in Brentwood, and she immediately saw a lift in her conversion, especially on our home value pages. Her home value pages, we have a landing page builder, the whole thing, it all works really well for you. So she switched over from a custom WordPress site to a concierge carrot site, and we walked her through that process. Okay, once again, this one does cost money, but it's our high level service. A few grand for this, but it's going to save you so much time and money. And if you just earn one extra deal just because the credibility is tighter, like literally, guys, even if you don't drive any online leads, even if you just do offline, but people Google you and find you, just having a website like this that has all of your credibility on here, that has your niches on here, that really has your about page and like who you are and why you do what you do, that alone will win you at least one minimum extra transaction per year. A minimum. Okay. So that alone pays multiple times for the concierge. But anyway, daily bite-sized action items for 30 days. There's going to be a private Facebook group for accountability for the whole month. There's also going to be weekly live calls with me. I think they're going to be on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I think Tuesdays. Private members area with each day's training and resources inside of there so you can access it. If you get behind, no big deal. Just go ahead and get caught back up. Okay. So this is me right here inside of the private members area. So when you join the challenge, you're going to see them broken up by weeks in here. Then each day has its own stuff. So we're going to be diving in some mindset training in a massive way. Going to be laying out the content. They're going to be laying out your marketing plan the first few days. We're going to be bringing out the authority builder and filling it out with you. We're going to be picking your niches. We're going to be really pegging your keyword research. We're going to be launching your site if it's not already launched. If it's already launched, cool. You get a free day. We're going to be challenging you building out your bio, then getting your credibility built out. If you want to do IDX, guide you on that. Get your first location pages built out with you. If you have a CRM, we'll show you where to go to get that set up. Then start to dial in the SEO, the search engine optimization of those location pages, and then get your first video post done, like we did with Denny. That's how Denny did it. We said, Denny, can you go out there and film a video on this? And then he did it and submitted it through our system and optimized it well, and it's ranking well. And then starting to do some Facebook ads toward the back end of it. And so every one of them is going to have a video like this. Then it's going to have your action plan. And then you're going to dive into the Facebook group. And this right here is the Facebook group. Let me just go ahead and make this actual size. This is the Facebook group from the previous challenge. This is the Facebook group from the previous challenge where you can see Catherine Pierpont talked about that, the offer that they made and the lead that they got during the challenge. We celebrated it with her. Going through this, Tim posted this not too long ago, just seeing if people have had some momentum here. Building the website in 30 days was brilliant. He didn't have a chance to launch the Facebook ads or anything, but guys, he's got the foundation laid, he's got the framework laid, and he's going to go crush it now. Okay. Look at this right here. Catherine Denworth. I'm getting traffic to my Contra Republic landing page. I've also learned how to remove stupid derogatory comments that are left on Facebook. Look, she wants to join the next one already. Okay. And then you can see people are really starting to just posting a lot of things in here. We're engaging here. We're helping you adjust your strategy, looking at your pages, giving you feedback on your pages, all that stuff. Okay. So if you guys want to join us, $100 is all. $100, guys. Cap at 50 agents. We're already well over 30. Carrot.com/challenge. $99. Go in there, grab it. If you're not a Carrot customer yet, what this is going to do is this going to be your chance to dive in there. I think you get a benefit. I think what happens, don't quote me on this, but I think if you're not a Carrot customer yet, you get the challenge. You're going to pay $99 for the challenge, just like everyone else does. Okay. But you're going to get, I think it's the first 14 days or maybe even the first 30 days free of your Carrot account while you're doing the challenge. Okay. Because that way it's just kind of more fair. So you're diving through the challenge and you have a chance to also use the account at the same time. Then it renews into the normal pricing plan. So carrot.com/challenge, guys. All right, let's take a look at this. So Glenn, awesome. Glenn's in. Glenn signed up. We got some other ones in. I love it. And then we'll answer this last question. We're going to bounce. We're at 2 hours. So Emil says, Orange County, Florida, new construction. I Googled my county as opposed to my city, and there are no takers on it. Let's check it out. Okay. So let's look at this. So Orange County, Florida. What's the main city in Orange County that you like to look at, Emil? Is it Orlando? New construction homes, Orange. So look at this, new construction homes, Orange County, Florida. So that does pop up right there. New construction homes, Orange Park, Florida. Okay, so these are keywords that are popping up in Google. So I would start there. That's like that's a niche within a city, right? Or niche within an area. Okay, so new construction homes for sale in Orange County, Florida. Home builders in Orange County, Florida. So I'm going to scroll down here now and see if there's any other niches that it's giving me. Cheap new homes in Orange County or in Orlando. That's cool. That could be a really great page. Cheap new homes in Orlando, Florida for sale. I would put for sale. Okay. And then on the IDX listings, I would probably just have our team pull a listing of whatever cheap means to you. If it's under 200,000 or if it's under 250, we would literally just do new construction under 250 and then see whatever shows up in there. And then you'd build out a location page for it and then go out there and do 5 to 8 niche videos, 3 to 5 minutes long with your cell phone, upload them to YouTube with a title like cheap new homes in Florida, like title and phrases people are actually typing in, throw them into video posts. We automate making it written article, bam, that's posted. And then take that video and upload it from your cell phone to YouTube or I'm sorry, from to Facebook. Okay, dude, and just keep on nailing that right there. New homes built in Orlando, Florida, new homes for sale in Florida, new homes for sale in Orange County, Florida. So these are some ones that are popping up right there. Okay. Let's see what else are there specific neighborhoods? That's what I would do is, are there specific new construction neighborhoods in Orange County or specific areas in Florida? Home builders, what popular home builders are there? So, let's see, new homes built in Orlando, Florida. Looks like Meritage is one, Lennar Homes. Okay. I'm just going to write this. Let's say Lennar Homes for sale, Orlando, Florida. Cool. So it looks like people are searching for Lennar Homes for sale in Orlando, Florida. Of course, Lennar Homes is going to come up first. But what if you could be number 2? What if your page could be number 2? And I don't know if you could pull up an IDX search with this. Maybe not. But you could build out the most categorical resource for Lennar Homes in here, and redirect people over to you to work with you. Lennar Homes, Davenport, Winter Garden, complaints. A lot of good stuff in here. All right. All righty, guys. If there's no other questions, I'm going to bounce. We're right at 2 hours. I so appreciate you guys. It's been a blast hopping on here with you guys and working with you guys. And like I said, I'm going to close out with this is we're not going to be, this party is going to continue. This party is going to continue next week as we dive into the 30-day challenge, the carrot, a 30-day authority building challenge. And our aim is this. One simple aim is I don't want to be the guy that said, I should have tried way harder to make sure that real estate agents and investors realize what was going to shift and how they could win in the market. I don't want to be the guy that looks back and says, man, I could have helped that family continue to be an entrepreneur and continue to have a great business, but I didn't market hard enough and I wasn't passionate enough to get people into this damn challenge to get them the results. I don't want to be the guy who in 3, 4, 5 years, people hit me up and go, hey, you were right, man. You were right on that, but I just didn't take action on it. And so I'm not a hard sell guy, but I am going to hard sell the crap out of people getting into this challenge because it's $100. Just like quit coffee for half of the month. Okay, quit Starbucks for half of the month and then carve out some TV time and focus it in on this. And we're going to help you set an amazing foundation to crush it moving forward. And that's why I'm doing this. I want to see you guys get freedom with your businesses. I want to see you guys get flexibility with your businesses. And I want to really see you guys grow momentum and have an amazing, amazing business moving forward. All right. Talk soon, guys. And have an amazing day. Carrot.com/challenge.